die like that? Like,
I know, right?
Why you gotta die?
Well,
You fucked up your title,
not
George.
Did I? How did I?
glad you're alive.
Did I spell it wrong? I can always change
Walked
it.
up your title.
Soul Crest. Not Crest, Cress.
Oh, you're right.
The crest.
Oh god, I have to fucking mute that. I was like, wait, you just talked. Like, oh no. I didn't have you muted.
There we go. Update it.
Oh
Fix.
no.
I don't like
Fix.
hearing myself. It's wrong. It feels so wrong.
It is wrong, honestly.
Here we go.
It feels so bad whenever you hear yourself. It's like awful. That's why I even watching the VODs every now and again, whenever I do it, I actually just don't
It's
like
like, who's
it.
that asshole talking to them? Like, oh, it's me.
I try to talk
Yeah.
to myself.
It's
I'll just
that
be like,
guy.
oh, I hope you say this because it'll be really funny. And then I say it and I go, ah! Because I forgot that I said it. And I'm a fool.
Ah, good stuff.
God.
I'm fucking critical streaming too. Anyways.
Well,
Busy.
tonight is going to be a relatively short session, depending on what you all do, but it'll make more sense as the night goes on.
We're going to like 6 a.m. because we're gonna fuck it up.
No, I actually refuse for that to happen.
I'm sorry,
I am
man.
also,
Fine, my 6 a.m. Your 4 a.m.
I personally am also pretty fucking tired.
I know the feeling I have.
So that will also be a contributing
We
factor.
have a bunch of naked
But
people in
yeah.
our house.
Yeah,
I
a
do
bunch
have a bunch of
of them.
naked people.
No, I'm talking to Matt.
I was talking to Matt too, because I'm in his house and I'm naked.
By all means, get in here. Join the
Below
club.
the shirt, I'm naked. That's
Look,
why I have the pillow.
Y'all are
Yeah,
always
exactly,
welcome to come
exactly.
by. We have guest room, we have guest bed, we have fun, nice couches. You're all are always welcome.
Okay, I actually do need. I'm pretty sure I already have everyone's address, but I said this earlier. I do want to do an around the world, while I have like time to be able to do that. So I would like to come by, everybody. Except I unironically, except maybe Chris, because I'll wait until you go back with Jared, and then I'll just get a twofer.
That's a double kill if you go to with me and Jared.
Yeah, that's
You
kind
don't
of
want to hang out with the
kind of the
wolves,
plan.
though, Mitch? Come on now.
I do kind
I
of
wanna
want to
hang
go
out
and
with
see
the
the
wolves.
puppies. I'm not gonna lie, that does sound pretty fucking great.
Look, I want to see the puppies,
Chris, would
and
you
I want
like
to see
that,
the
or do you want me to
puppies.
wait?
I'd wait. Washington kind
Yeah.
of sucks.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling you'd say that.
Look, we got
But-
fucking DC nearby, and that's a cesspool in itself. I mean, a nice place.
That's your
It's a
Seattle.
cesspool. Chris is Washington State, I think.
You would, oh yeah, I'm Washington.
Well, no,
uh,
Seattle.
I'm north of Seattle by like 20 minutes. Or like 20 minutes without traffic, I should say.
If he's still there during, oh, he won't be.
No, I think he leaves before August.
June, July is when I'm going.
Okay,
Fingers
Forever.
crossed for
if you're
June.
coming back this, okay, if you're coming back this way, then better stop by.
I should be going through Idaho. Because I gotta go visit my grandpa in Montana. Because I think there's like one route that takes me like south and then east, and I didn't do that one, so I'm looking for a picture.
I'm gonna say this right now. I can only
Cat.
imagine Montana being further to the east than you just described it. Fuck. U.S. geography just kills me. I'm like, yeah, Montana, that's on like the eastern side, right? Like, no, apparently not.
Geography
Like,
in general just kills me, Matt. I just
I'm fine with most geography, like states. Not a goddamn clue.
that's
That's in this or that's in the wrong picture.
Are you on a coast? No, you're in one big mass in the middle. Except
Yeah,
for
you're-
Virginia.
you're
I know where the fuck
somewhere.
they are. I know where Virginia is 'cause it's attached to Maryland, but that's it. To the other side.
I like
DC.
how fast y'all sent the address. Y'all are adorable.
I could send
Anyways.
you Jared's address because that's what my ID says I live.
I mean, that's probably I'll get with him whenever I go to do it though, and be like, hey, once Chris get back, and then we'll.
Give
we'll
me-
settle that up.
Technically, I'll be in the state next to Jared because I don't plan on living in Illinois.
Oh, not again.
No, but
Thank you,
the
Chris.
border's like a one bridge drive across,
Okay.
which is
Look at
like
the
10
puppies,
minutes.
man. Look at the puppies. Okay, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with tonight. Last session, man oh man, did a lot happen.
We nuked the guy.
Yeah. You all started the session with a bomb. And
Nothing.
managed to
We were fine.
yeah, no, y'all
Nothing
were,
bad
y'all
ever
were
happened
great.
to us.
No.
Shouldn't have
Y'all
3 near
ended up-
deaths.
Yeah, y'all ended up killing the Krulovok after a very long and exhausting battle. However, right before you all started, you got a pretty scary sounding message from Voss saying that he needed help or that something was going on, etc. It's kind of in the heat of the moment. And you all decided to take care of the Krulovok instead of immediately dealing with that situation. Upon well, basically the moment y'all defeated this beast, you all joined together as you do, and Zarias cast Shadow Walk, and you all marched very quickly back to the encampment. And when you arrived, everything was perfectly fine, and you were greeted by, I can't remember who. Oh no, you weren't greeted
We
at all.
weren't.
Nope, you
We
just
walked in,
showed
everything
up.
was fine.
Yeah, we
Wait.
fast traveled in. We're
Yep.
like, aw.
Like,
Yeah.
everything's
What
panic.
is going on?
There's no panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything is just fine. And that is where we're going to start tonight's session. As you all step out of the Shadow Walk, look out, and you just see all the guards looking
Ugh.
relatively off edge. They look fine. The moment you show up, they'll go, huh? And then
Oh.
go back to normal.
Like, commander is like, oh, they don't care.
Yeah.
Commanders just operate in front of them, perfectly normal.
Yep.
Completely standard.
And this isn't like an illusion, is it?
I don't know. Roll an Arcana check.
Looks
What
normal to
a
me.
wonderful first start.
I stab Esri. Is that illusion?
Sick.
Roll it.
I assist in stabbing so I can get my sick loot back.
That ain't your loot.
Our loot.
What a... Oh my god, even with a 5? That's pretty decent.
A really high modifier. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, goddamn.
It's like I'm a
Um,
spellcaster.
As you're looking around,
She says
you're
with
looking
pride.
strictly for illusions, and you don't see any. Not immediately.
Well, I guess we're gonna meet up with Voss and see what those messages were about. Let's proceed carefully.
Yeah.
I'll keep my head on a swivel, see if there's anything odd going on around the area.
What are you looking for specifically?
Oh, well, seeing if anyone's acting out of the ordinary, I should say, for most of the part. Like, people are acting a little differently than usual. Well, the message that at least Zarius gave to us was they were being attacked, so I'll look for any signs of a struggle as well, or impending struggle. So those will.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Meh. With disadvantage.
Ooh.
Hold on, let me
Look at
do the
that.
disadvantage because
Why
I
are you rolling with disadvantage? Oh, you're exhausted.
I'm exhausted by 2.
Big sad.
Oh, no.
Doesn't really
21, still
matter.
pretty good.
21. Yeah, it's still pretty great. After as Esri is looking for any signs of illusions, or mainly any residual spell magic, but mainly that, you start looking at the activity. You're looking at the people. You're looking at the ground. You're looking if there's any impact. If you're looking if there's any bodies. If there's anyone being tended to. If there's someone that looks like maybe they're a little off. They're out of place. Or if you're just looking for someone in general, maybe a group of people in general. As you're looking, you don't see anything immediately. And as you keep walking forward, something catches your eye, and you look off, and you see a small mound off into the distance. You see a a group of guards gathering around it. Can't really tell what it is from here, but that is the one thing of note.
From even from my position, does it look like a small mound of dirt or something else?
Looks lumpy.
All right.
You'd have to go check it out.
I pointed out to everyone. Just this. Oh God, I almost went to lyric.
That's a voice to go to.
No, sorry.
Hello, it is me, Vingar.
Yeah. There seems to be a small mound of. Can't see clearly from here, but seems like they got something of interest. I'm not too sure.
If you can't see, none of us can.
Well, I can take a look if you're all going to see the head of this station.
Us?
Yes, that's his name. All right.
Voss? Yes.
I mean, I can go with you to check that out.
Ah, sure. Let's go together.
Okay. Esri and Libitina, girl power, go off on their own. Fucking die. And finally get to kill you two.
About time.
No. Yeah, I know, right? Shit.
We thought Dro was gonna die
Um,
first. Wrong.
It was a bomb.
Nope.
Imagine dying.
You two. Don't tempt me. You two go and start walking towards the mound, which is a little closer than the actual main tent that you all normally stay in. And as you split off, we're going to stick with Libitina and Esri. As you're walking towards, you see what appears to be a mound of your own soldiers, just their corpses just being stacked up. And it looks like as you're starting to get closer, they're starting to dig a little trench around it all. And it looks like they're starting to oil the bodies. And you see a couple of priests are out there making alms and prayer.
I look to Esri, Yura, and I go, You think they ate my soup?
Is
I told them not to eat the soup, and it was so
If
special.
there are no dwarves in the pile, possibly.
you didn't leave anything left over, did you?
I don't remember.
How did you not remember something like that?
I was excited.
You were excited to...
I was
Well,
excited at the prospect that we were about to kill a bunch of heretics.
this is... Okay. If, by chance, you did leave some left over...
Blame it on
you should
Vingard.
go in-
Good job. Good idea. I'm so glad you came up with it, Yura.
You know, I don't... Never mind. Would they have any side effects?
Oh, diarrhea, vomiting, the usual.
Yeah.
Does it look like these soldiers have any vomiting stain on their clothes?
I don't know. You have to get a little closer to find out.
I'm assuming we're getting closer.
Oh, yeah, you are. I'm assuming y'all are also having this conversation not near them. But if you'd like to, you can.
Oh,
Okay, after having that conversation, we'll get
Okay.
closer.
Okay.
DM.
As y'all start getting closer, it does start to smell pretty rank over here.
once again,
Are
Vingard.
there any like vomiting chunks on their clothes?
Roll a perception check.
Yes.
Roll an insight, investigation, or perception. Take your pick.
I ain't gonna roll.
I'm seeing which one's higher here.
I can only go poorly.
Let's go perception.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. You look for it, and no. However, their clothes do look ripped and tattered. They look like they have heavy scorch marks on them, on every body. And as you're looking at them, and as you're getting up a little closer and closer, you notice not all of them are strictly like, if you remember the X-Eagles, this is not strictly like humans, elves, dwarves, half-elves, gnomes, etc. These are, a lot of them are tiefling, and a lot of them are built to be humanoid, but their skin is red and ripped, and some of them seem to have a couple of horns sticking out, etc. Actually, roll a history check for me. Actually, I won't even.
They're racist.
There's no reason, because you just saw these types of people before. They look like the same group that you all purged right before you set up your little siege for the
Does
name
it look like that
escapes me.
chunky one?
The Krulabak.
Like, that stood out the last
Nope.
time?
Nope. Just looks like the exact same group that you dispatched.
Oh, you're talking about the group of soldiers that came with us?
Yeah, the guys I blendered immediately.
Yes.
Okay.
The ones that Voss brought back on the horses.
Yeah.
And as y'all are looking around and you're finally putting that together, you see Voss actually kind of standing there, looking around, pointing at people and sending people into different areas and barking out orders. He doesn't seem to have noticed you at all yet. Esri, hi. Sorry. I just didn't think you'd make it back so fast. You look terrible.
We just dispatched one of their probably major soldiers. What happened here?
Well, like we had thought, they were sending an assault on us, and we didn't know the time frame. However, what ended up happening is they all at once broke out. Damnedest thing, they didn't look like they were ready. And then the moment they did, they started an assault. It didn't make any sense. They were heavily outnumbered. We thought there had to have been something else going on, which is why I immediately raised alarm. It's only been, what,
A minute.
couple of minutes since the battle ended. I was going to message you all. You all came back very quickly, so I apologize.
Like,
We were
how
trying to
quickly?
assess the damage. Not long at all. Probably maybe 5-10 minutes.
We were gone from you, to your account, roughly 5 to 10 minutes.
No. From when I sent out the SOS.
Oh. Was it like...
Yeah.
Shadow walked.
Yeah, because we shadow walked.
That's-
So
okay.
yeah. So it was like a minute for the fight, a minute to recoup, and then like a 5-minute walk back.
Yeah, y'all are fucking monsters, by the way.
Absolutely monster.
I can be faster
We
now.
are the fast.
Yeah.
As Edri's Yara's talking to Voss, I'll go ahead and get the rest of the group since I know they're all looking for him. So I'll go ahead and
You just
direct them towards.
You just earring it. I assume.
Sorry.
I
missed
forgot
that
we
first
had
part.
the earrings. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I'll use the earrings and do just that. And I'll notify them. Found the Dragonborn you're looking for? Yes.
Those are in there, Don. Looking for Voss?
Look for the Pyrobates. He's there with us. How nice.
Turn on my heels. All right, we're going
Glance
this way.
over the pile of bodies that you walked over to.
Yep. All right. Yar, were you saying something?
That's good.
Voss, what was... Wait, does she even know about the distress message?
Yes, I told you.
Okay,
That's why
you
we
told
sent it
everybody.
back.
Okay. Voss, what was so concerning and pressing that you needed us here?
Well, like I said, I thought they were going to start a full-on assault like we had thought, but it seems that since you all had, well, taken care of the bulk of them, it wasn't even nearly as dramatic as I thought it was. I thought whenever they had started the assault, it was truly starting, but it
What
seems
did you
since we
see?
all got it. My own men started tearing their own skin off and started attacking their other men, disguised as demons and devils. Something we hadn't seen before.
I see.
We knew that it was coming. We just didn't know when.
And what
you all
form.
left, right, and you all left with a very large squadron of all of them. I imagine if they were all here, they would have dealt quite a number because we were caught completely without guard. But we have you to thank for that.
That's good to hear that the casualties were kept to a minimum.
Very much so. Only about a dozen men, unfortunately. But nevertheless, it would have been much higher. With such a small squadron like that infiltrating, they could have done a very large amount of damage. It seemed that they were probably given the orders to go without them being prepared. I can only imagine what they could have done. We've already thrown out a bulk of the food and the supplies. We're blessing the rest and making sure none of it is poisoned, etc. We found a giant cauldron not too long ago that was filled to the brim with something unknown substance, but we don't
Did
know what
anybody
they were
partake of
cooking
that?
up. Absolutely not.
Okay.
We knew it was poisonous. Actually, we did see a dwarf drinking some earlier, but that was
He's a
unaccounted.
dwarf.
All
Yeah.
the other soldiers drank it, and I drank it. All the soldiers that came with us
I think I could drink
drank
it now.
it after
We
I
know that
drank it.
We know Tymet told us about it, but he said to just dispatch it. And it's kind of just how he is.
Makes
One
sense.
word, two word kind of thing. Until he starts getting all political. Anyways. Sorry.
Luckily, on our end, we were able to withhold a giant at bay and a couple of other soldiers as well.
Excellent work. Yeah, I got a little bit of well, I say a little. I got a bulk of the rundown from Tymant. He said you all went on a glorious crusade, slaying many a devil.
Crusade.
And then he had to leave, and he brought back with us quite a large amount of weapons and arms that we had lost. So it's quite a big boon as well. We'll be able
Does
to
this-
distribute all of this after we bless it up immediately.
Of course. Does this mean that everything is still, I would assume, continuing on course with what we had previously predicted?
Yes, actually. And with that, it's going to be even better. Because beforehand, we were predicting everything, and we're going to keep to the same schedule as we're still waiting on Grandmaster. Can I just call him Sprig? We're waiting on Sprig.
About
good
how
old
far do you
Sprig.
think about how far do you think he is away?
I believe about 2 days at this point, maybe less, all things considered. Now that we know that their attack like this is seized up, at least for now, hopefully he'll be back soon, sooner than expected. If that's the case, then we'll let you know immediately. We might
Sounds
even wake
good.
you up in the middle of the night to let all of you know, as the rest of you now start coming up. He goes, hello, welcome back. You all look like hell.
Again, the giant.
You like it?
We got sat on. It's fun. Anyways,
We did not
I
get
got thrown.
sat on.
I got
When you
sat
say
on
the
twice.
giant-
It was more of a stomp.
We haven't seen a giant.
It was just a really big monkey. Really big monkey.
Well, I would say like maybe like a couple of them.
with good fortune, you might not ever see it because it's dead.
Unfortunately, that does sound familiar. Four-legged, hairy creature, bihorned, walks on all fours. Basically,
It looks like this, and I make a little pocket-sized image of it.
Yeah, that but a lot
Right.
bigger.
Yeah, and
Unfortunately-
I'll make like a little to scale person. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, that does look accurate. We haven't seen them in combat. I personally haven't. Any accounts that could have didn't make it back, but one we knew that it acted very ferociously, but that person's mind was also twisted slightly.
No, he seemed
so
pretty
we
accurate
weren't
about that.
sure. Okay, well, that's unfortunate.
Attacks everything in
However,
sight, heals a bit, jumps really high.
Oh,
Ate
he
his
immediately
friends.
looks over, and some random guard kind of comes up, just in full garb, takes out a notepad and starts writing.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, exactly. As you
I
start
kept
listing
trying
it
to
off,
pick people up. I kept failing.
this person does look familiar. They are in the. You can't really see all of them because again they're in like full plate, but the way they're writing and the way that they're posed, you've seen this person, this like silhouette before. It doesn't like ring any bells. It's just like, oh, I've seen that note taker kind of thing.
The note taker
Um,
that was helping us, right?
Maybe it's just something in the back of your head. Not super important, but yeah, as you list it all down, they're writing it all up. Close the book, kind of do a nod, and say, "Huh, I'll be back," and they leave. Boss kind of looks around and goes, let's get away from this. And as he starts to walk away, you see a couple of people walk up with branches that are on fire, and they start soaking the bodies rather than just the little moving around. And it's gonna get quite bright and hot and smelly.
These are all.
Yes.
None of these are
Uh-huh.
from our perspective. They're none of our actual people. These are actually the demons, right?
Yes,
Okay.
they are. There's a couple of them that like are obviously like mid transformation,
Mhm.
but for the most part, yes.
Okay, just making sure.
The actual like you're the United Army is being buried elsewhere
Okay.
in the actual burial grounds.
For those people, I will actually go over there, perform some funeral rites for them. These guys, they can fuck off.
Sounds good. Libitina kind of like looks around, sees a clergyman walking by, and it's just like, that's the guy I want, and just kind of walks off.
Yep.
Hey, where are you going?
Gotta pay respects to to my father. So, those who lost their lives, I would give them, or at least assist in giving them a proper send off.
How long do you think that will be? And I mean that just in a logistical term.
It doesn't take long. 5-10 minutes, however long they deem it. It is an army. They're in the middle of a battlefield. It might not take longer than 30 minutes.
Boss, are we headed back to the meeting room?
Yeah, that would be best.
Okay. So we'll see you there in a few minutes then. Right?
Understood.
Thank you.
All right.
I think Zarius is actually going to pull someone aside and be like, "Hey, I need that body, that body, that body, and that body sent to my tent later. I know it's weird. I need it."
They look at you so perplexed. Like, I'm sorry, you need the body.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Just
you.
wanted to double check. And yep, as y'all are all walking away, you hear a couple of people that are just like, hold on, don't light it up yet. And as you're all walking, you all hear as like bodies start just like kind of falling off and tumbling over into different areas. And yeah, that you'll start marching back towards the illusioned tents. And as you walk up and you pierce into that veil, again, you're greeted with the beautiful grass, the bright blue sky, the wispy clouds, the fake lie that is this area instead of the battlefield. And you all march up to the tent and take position around the board as Voss kind of stands there, puts his two hands on the war board and says, as for what we found during all of this, obviously we were attacked, and while we were, once the attack ceased, there was one more person, or one more devil rather, that was, when he was done transforming, held up his hands and surrendered. He said that he didn't want to fight and that he came here against the will of the Supreme General in Mecca, and that he is to be executed if he goes back inside. We have questioned him extensively, but he's a little different. He wants to speak to you, and he stares at you, Zarius.
Oh.
The
He wouldn't
reason
have-
he wanted to speak to you is because you're a half-devil, which means you're half-human, meaning you would at least half listen. The other person he wanted to speak to, he looks to Vengar and he says, you, because he said you are probably the fullest devil, or the fulliest of devils, however you'd like to take that.
I just look at Zarius like, I think you mixed this up.
Just to be clear, this devil doesn't happen to have like no face down to here, lots of teeth, kind of big, would he?
No,
Yeah.
not at all. He
Okay,
actually
perfect.
has.
Perfect. Just wanted to double check that.
No,
Does he have multiple faces?
why? Is there a specific devil that we should know about?
You probably wouldn't see it.
I believe I put it in one of the reports. I'm going to flip through my things. Ah, yes, this one. And
So you have to forgive me. There's
Yeah.
been quite a few reports. He
yes,
kind of looks at it.
and it's just
um,
assassin.
Oh yeah, no, I got you. I promise.
Yeah.
He goes, no, yeah, I understand. Do you have an image? Can you?
There you go.
Oh, okay. When you come back, we're gonna get a sketching of that. How powerful is this demon? And he kind of like devil. Sorry, and it looks more like a demon actually. But he gets his own notes out and he starts writing.
I have not seen him in action, but from what I've heard and from what I felt, probably on par with the one we just fought.
Oh,
I don't know if he's here. I dropped him off, or he was last seen in and I'm going to reference the continent that I know I have in my notes, but where Zanzel is. That is where he last was seen, but that was 3 weeks ago.
okay. Why didn't you just kill him? That's your own business.
Yeah.
He starts writing stuff down. I know better than to ask.
Let me see you kill him. Then ask that question again, you jackass.
Yeah.
Down to 2 spell slots and half hit points. Let's go, buddy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
why
please,
didn't you
don't
just
holy
kill
shit.
him after popping out of hell after your 3-day journey in there? Fuck you!
The devil is currently being held in the prisoners' quarters, along with the other few that you all managed to bring back. We've gotten a bit of information out of them, but nothing we didn't already know, unfortunately.
Did we send the devils that we captured earlier with Vought? Okay, I
Yeah,
was like,
we
oh,
did.
did we just leave
It
them
was
buried?
Nope.
the one we
That-
captured
That was a
recently.
while ago.
Recently
Yeah,
was
yeah,
set was Tymat, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
and Time had charmed it and
Correct.
took that one. The ones that we had buried, we brought back before we went out the second time. So
Mm-hmm.
we've captured 3 devils so far.
We're on the roll.
15.
Yeah, y'all are actually kind of stomping.
Getting all
you're
the
about to be
info.
rewarded for it. So he says, "Well, they are in the prisoners' quarters. I believe you all know where they are. I will be gathering a couple of things. But if you feel that he could be of use him as you will. He's right that way, along with the other prisoners you've brought. Excellent work, by the way."
We do what we can.
And with that, you'll start walking over to the prisoners area. And as you do, you see 2 guards walking in with a body on their back that they're kind of just marching in.
Can we see the body?
You sure can. It looks like it has Ural's gear on it, like the United Army, and it looks like it's burned and tattered. It smells kind of like oil. You go, oh, they were just probably going to burn this body. Oh, this is weird. Kind of look at you all and just keep walking with the body.
Yara will bother ask, what are you doing?
Job. I'm kind of wondering the same thing.
Where are you going with the body?
Darius.
Cocks his head and stares at you. I don't know. Ask him. And they kind of nudge towards Zarius and they just keep walking. They look really mad.
Oh, it's the bodies you asked for.
Yep.
That's my boy.
Yara looks over at Zarius. I will ask you later.
As you say that, another 2 men with another body start walking into the veil and they just look grossed out at Zarius and they just keep walking.
Don't need the attitude when you carry a body.
Yes, ma'am. And they just keep walking. And with that, you all walk into the tent that leads straight down. And you all start walking down the stairs in the stairwell. The perceptive bunch of you, which would be, let's see,
Not me.
Not me.
If you're looking for
yep,
passive.
that would just be 2 people actually that could pass this, which would be Vin and Libitina.
That's
As you're both
11.
watching, you feel like you're being watched as you're walking down here. Then specifically, you actually feel someone almost like breathing down your neck at one point, and you instinctively kind of like shrug, and you actually feel like you bump into someone, and you look over, and there's a an invisible, now slightly visible face as you hit them, as they shimmer and look at you, and you just keep going. They're clearly meant here to guard the hallways in secrecy.
Wow, I must be really tired of seeing things.
That
That
monkey.
eye's too strong, man. That monkey. As you all go down, you're in a dirt, like kind of boxed circle. There are only a few cells, and when I say cells, I mean it is a dug out trench, not too deep underground, that has probably 5 dugout squares that have iron bars and a swing door in front of them. Those are the cells. In front of them, for anyone that's actually in the cell, has 2 guards each. And then there's a main person in the middle, has a bald head and some raggedy, gross yellow teeth, kind of scratching his temple, and he has a lots of black makeup over his eyes as he looks at all of you. Ah, figured you'd be showing up eventually. Welcome down here. Kind of looks at you all. You want to see the talkative devil, right?
That's what we were requested for. Might as well indulge him a little.
Yeah. More than happy to show you. The problem I'm having. Look, they can't hear inside of the cell, so speak your mind. I'd rather just fucking kill them all, but I understand that we have a job to do to get information. I don't trust this one at all. Period. There's something wrong with him. It's wrong. They come up branded. They come up with a want. Like they can't speak. And we have to find ways around that to get our information. This one, he speaks freely. He's dangerous. So just be careful. Fucking trust any of these things, but especially not one like this. Yeah. And he kind of stands up and walks over to the cage and unlocks it. And as he does so, you see the devil kind of look up, look at the wall, kind of squint his eyes and stare at you all and cock his head. And he opens up the bars. And inside, let's see here. You see a devil. He looks very humanoid, pale white skin with a little bit of hues of purple mixed in, where almost he looks almost undead. Long black hair and black spikes kind of rip out of his body, almost like a lion's mane. And he has 2 very large horns that twist out and point, along with multiple other horns kind of sticking out of him. A very dark, evil, and grim-looking face, one that looks like very eldritch and old. He has black lines that run down from his eyes, and his eyes themselves are this necrotic emerald green that actually look like they have a second iris inside of them. As he stares at you all, very angry. The Wayfinders. About time. So you're Zarius, you're Vin, I assume you're Dro, Yara, Esri, and then the Shadow Libitina. Nice to see you all.
Pleasure.
Pleasure's mine. Welcome to my humble abode. It has no rent. Food is free on the house. Everything's great. You get stabbed every now and again for information that you don't have, but it's a wonderful time, really. You should stay for a while.
what was your accommodation before this?
Being beaten regularly, told you're not good enough, and before that, it was absolutely incredible, voluptuous life of luxury in hell.
Hmm.
As counterintuitive as that sounds, I've been drugged from my home once. I wanted to escape. I came to the other side, and now I want to escape again. But I've heard so much about you all, so I wanted to meet you before I left.
Appreciated. Sorry.
Of course.
Always happy to accommodate a fan, but I assume there's more to what you wanted to discuss than just handshakes and autographs.
You do have a little devil inside of you. I like that. Well, Mr. Rainhill, Mr. Zarius, whatever it is to you, however you'd like to be referred to as, to immediately prove that I'm not on the wrong side, my name, if you would like to use it against me, is Cal Boris.
Well, thank you for that information. It does garner a level of trust. I won't.
Would garner a big level of trust as I'm putting my life, my soul, my very being in your hands. As at the moment, it is in the hands of someone else who, the moment they realize I'm not there, I'm gone. So at this point, I have 2 knives to my throat. Who cares? I'm already dead. I'm on borrowed time. So
Well,
at this point, I just want to get back.
Yes.
So go ahead. Ask away. Ask your questions. I have all of them. I just need to know what you want to know.
I will, player to player. If anyone has good questions, please feel free to ask.
Not a goddamn clue.
We ask him what are good questions to ask. That's the best question.
I mean,
Honestly, you can.
I mean, it's not a bad idea, honestly.
It's in character for Vin, so.
It is in character for Ben.
So, like,
Yes.
what's a good question? Like, examples.
oh gosh.
Well, and then here's the photos. It's finally updated. I don't know why that took so long.
Ah,
Um,
Oh, hey,
yeah,
it's
real swell
Illidan.
looking guy.
that is Illidan.
God.
Look at the Ashbringer.
Good question to ask. Not a bad start. Well, you're in the middle of a war. Would you like to know where the leader is so you can kill him? Would you like to know where the general is so you can kill him? Would you like to know what kind of enemies there are? Would you like to know a layout? Would you like to know when another attack is going to be? What do you want to know? I have a lot of information and it does change very frequently, and I might have outdated information. But I can tell you what I know,
I have a question.
of course.
Will you be willing to drink something that I had prepared for occasions such as this?
Later, Tibbs.
Okay.
Or
Oh,
I
make sure that you're telling the truth.
then, of course,
Um,
can't be any worse than anything that's been done to me at all.
just be aware that if you try to deceive us, it will take effect in a most definite manner. I'll show you guys what I'm
Understood.
talking about here.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Yep. He handed it to him. He swigs it around, looks at it.
Wait, don't.
If he falls unconscious, one of you can help him.
He then drinks the
Lord.
rest. And then kind of does this to make sure you know that the bottle is empty.
All right, ask away.
Gives you the bottle back. You can work on the taste.
All right, I'm done here. Have fun.
Well, I believe that we would like to start with the most recent high tier information you have. So, locations of the leader, the general, in case any certain devils were seen amongst the ranks. And I'm going to use prestidigitation to do the assassin again. You know, just
I'm not sure I recognize that one. As far as being where I am on the totem pole or was, I was summoned against my will, by the way. I was summoned as a scribe, almost, a gatherer of information, and one who holds it. I was very peaceful in my home. I worked very hard for where I had gotten and was very perturbed from when I was taken away. So it was met with great fight when I said, "Fuck off." And the Supreme General deemed it to where I would be much lower rank than what I should have been. Gave me a mortal wound and sent me on my way. Now, as far as where that would put me as far as information, pretty low on the totem pole considering I was immediately a turncoat. But, having said that, I at least know a couple bits of information that I don't think you would all know. There is a summoner, if you will. There are. How much do you all know? So I'm not sitting here saying worthless information. I don't know how long I have alive, so I'd rather be
Nothing.
efficient.
We know nothing.
well, I will give him a rundown of what we generally know of like outside stuff. I'm going to keep a couple things like vague, but just like, hey, we know about this powerful general, this powerful one, like
We got a general
like-
idea of where they are. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Just that stuff, like not go into like a lot of their abilities and stuff. So if he wants to elaborate on them, I'm not going to confirm or deny it, but just like, hey, we know about like the brood mother, the preacher in the city sands area, giant worm. Thank you. And just kind of give him just like a vague list, so he's not again wasting his time.
So you know general information, not specific details. I will provide as many as I can. Well then, let's make this make as much sense as possible. There is a summoner, which I'll stick with him for now. This is not his name per se, this is his title. So would do you know power to know it? However, you may have it. He calls himself the Larak. In our speech, it means the summoner. It is his duty. He is one of the first that was brought up, if not the first that was brought up by the main devil, who's given himself the title of Lu, apparently. Lou, yes, that was his first summon, actually. His first contract that he made in that city, whatever it was called. Don't even know.
Mecca. Continue.
Mecca. Interesting. Yeah. Well, in Mecca, that was the first summon, was Larak. Larak assisted in giving more contracts, summoning more devils, and eventually learned how to summon demons as well. I don't know how he gets his power, but I've heard rumors that he gets a percentage of the summons that he brings up for Lou, which then makes me think if Lou gets, for every person he brings up, 5% of their power, per se, their soul, in exchange for coming to the mortal realm, then Larak would get 1% of that 5%. He's much less powerful than Lou, but maybe my math is wrong. Maybe he has 2 or 3, or maybe that's full of shit. Maybe whenever he summons them, he has his own contract. He gets his own power, which would make more sense considering how powerful he is. He has his own special breed that he's come up with and created. He's no longer just the summoner. He's a doctor, a specialist, if you will. I don't know how to really describe it better, but he summons these beings, tears them apart, breaks them down, and rebuilds them all into one creature, and sends them on their way mindlessly with one task. We call them the Detran brutes. Detran being mindless, brute being brute. Then you have the Unthools. The, again, Detran Unthools. They are much more powerful than the brutes. They are much stronger, larger. They are, whereas the brutes can take down a couple men on their own, the Unthoul can take down squadrons without dying. They are unfeeling blobs of muscle and mass, just march through and destroy. They're terrifying. And then we have the Diviners. The Diviners are weak, very weak. You could, honestly, in a fight, they're worthless. They're survivors. They're very resilient, but they're very weak. What they have is their mind and their spells. They can't see, they're blind. But they do not see with their own eyes. They see with the beings that they summon. They are lesser versions of Larak, which is why he even deemed them Larak Diviners, or summoning Diviners. They are horrifying what they can create. One minute you see one and they start a ritual, and all of a sudden they have a small army surrounding them. I have more information, but I'm not sure if it's accurate. But that I saw with my own eyes. If I was to sounds untruthful, but if I was to go back, I could get more information. But I wouldn't expect that level of trust.
As he's speaking these, everything, doesn't it seem like at any time the poison kicks in at all?
Roll a perception check.
Well, here we go.
Actually, roll an insight check.
Oh,
Sorry.
here we go. Yeah! Take that.
It's very hard to tell, but he looks like he's just in a perpetual state of just mad.
Oh my god,
It looks like he
turned
got
Windward
hurt.
into a
He's just-
demon.
He'd still just be mad.
Well, that is very
You
useful
went away.
information, and we will definitely pass it along. I do have another question that you might be a little bit more interested in. How would you get out of your current contract, your other knife to your throat? Surely you know the ins and outs of that and loopholes. You are a devil after all.
Funnily enough, like I said, I was ejected out of my life. I wasn't contracted. I was summoned. Who I have a contract with specifically is one of the diviners. They don't know that I'm gone. My contract is very simple. Serve them, or the people above them, or leave. Or perish, basically, is how it's written. Very, very simple. That was written by my consent after multiple days of torture. Fun times. They wouldn't just kill me. They wouldn't just send me back. It was sign or stay like that forever. There are more like me, but how are you going to find out who's actually telling the truth? Which, by the way, you shouldn't be trusting me either. Well, actually, kind of looks over at you, Libitina. I guess you can.
I shrug. I'm really tired.
You all do look horrible, by the way.
Oh, yes. You just got back from taking down a... What was it called again? The
I keep referring to it as a giant. I don't know how else to
Fucking
describe
monkey.
it.
Ulavak.
Kulavok.
I don't know the fucking name. I just know it's a big fucking monkey.
Anyway.
Krulevok. You took down a Krulevok?
Yeah.
You?
I'll do the little thing again and pull up the little image. Yeah.
Yeah, stab the shit out of it.
You all. I see.
Yes.
You all took down the Krulevok.
Yes.
You're very powerful. Those beasts are very annoying.
Yes.
Are
Yeah.
there more of them on the other side?
Oh yes. It's not like a lot, but a dozen, maybe several dozen.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
anyway, sorry. Yes, I can. Just circling back to your contract. Would your contract end if you were no longer on this plane?
Yes. Why?
Just curious. Anyways, we did have another question. I'm pulling up my questions.
Can I ask one in the meantime?
Yeah, go ahead.
Any one of us can ask a question, right? It isn't just Zarius or Vin.
No, I just wanted to meet these two specifically. I kind of hoped they would be speaking a bit more liberally, but I understand why they wouldn't. But sure, why not? The more the merrier. You're all the wayfinders. You all speak for each other, blah, blah, blah.
So, what is the plan? Their plan, last you know, as far as the timing of.
Sneak attack, kill all of you in the dead of night, or a large majority. Death isn't tolerated, so die out here. Die trying. Kill as many as you can. That kind of thing.
Sneak
This
attack
isn't it.
when?
It's,
The one that just
I'm
happened.
sorry, are you new?
Wait, what?
The one that just happened that we killed all the traitors for.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was misunderstanding.
Yeah, he just looks at you and goes, are you new? I'm sorry, I thought you were a part of these people.
Oh, sorry. That was a sneak attack. I was expecting something more.
I'm actually very glad it wasn't. If you recall, I'm trying to be on your side.
Yeah, but it's really hard when, you kind of give a lot of attitude for someone in the position that they're in.
I mean, honestly, I think he's
Forgive me,
being
I've
rather
been-
nice.
Forgive me, I've been tortured for the past couple of days. Maybe I should calm down.
Right. In the meantime, after that, you said, what was the next plan of action?
I don't know. We were sent here to die. There's no real reason to get any more information after that.
Were there any other hidden schemes within the next few days that you were aware of? Obviously, the sneak attack, but was there anything else that comes to mind that you might have overheard?
Specifically for you, yes. But for the rest of you all, no. But for Zarius Rainhill, yes. Which is
And what
why I
might
wanted to
that
talk
be?
with you. Well, let me pull something up real quick and I'll tell you. I got a little distracted. Someone messaged me a little something. There is a devil that volunteered, actually. Rings about your name all the time. Mainly the Rain Hills all the time. Non-stop. Just endless. I don't know his name. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know anything about him. But what I do know is he fucking hates your family. Or you. I don't know which. He just says Rain Hill.
Well, that's good to know. Fortunately, it doesn't narrow down a lot of options, a lot of potential victims.
Would it help if I told you that he's apparently been avoiding you or Rainhill? Is Rainhill your surname or a person?
Yes. A surname, family name, goes back a couple generations.
He's been avoiding Rainhill, how he phrases it, for a couple years. It's more fun that way. But now that he's here, he came to collect. And Lou took a very big interest in him. He actually helped summoning some assassin or something.
Yes, that is the assassin is the one I showed you earlier, just so you have a bit of context.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you all already met the assassin. Oh, that's
Yes.
good. That's great. Did you kill him?
No.
Oh, that's bad. That's very
Yes.
bad.
Yes.
Why? How are you alive?
Semantics gives details. Do you
There's an
want to
assassin.
move on to another question?
Yes. It's more of a. Well, I do have a ending question. I'm gonna pop out of character real quick. Does anybody else have any questions that they were thinking of, or
I have a really dangerous one to ask, but
Oh Lord.
I think it should be saved for last if you've seen me and Mitch's reactions.
Okay.
Oh
I mean-
God.
I mean, I have
I'm
one that
curious
won't
about
last, so
like
let's see.
how to safely get rid of those things that are in the ground.
Oh, the pustules.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not ready for what Chris is doing.
If Luke does what I haven't planned on doing, I'm gonna lose it.
I mean, I have a plan, but it's probably not the plan that you got, but we'll see. Yes, we have seen a couple pods, gems, large red sacks filled with corruption that seep the life from the ground
Oh.
and make it difficult terrain. Would you happen to know
Yes.
a effective way of clearing those?
Any form of purification would do it. Not too much or it'll rupture. Not too little or it will just. Well, I guess you could do little at a time. It would just take a while. Considering you're in a war zone. The best way that I have seen them be removed is how we remove them, which is remove curse. However, it's not just the base spell. You have to give a little oomph.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, 4th or 5th level, not much more is needed, but to just remove them immediately, that is what we would need.
Makes good sense. Makes good sense. All right.
Now, those are the outside tumors as well. The ones that have already let their corruption expel, just sacks of flesh. You can tear it out of the ground. No amount of removal is going to get rid of them. It would take. It would probably take you killing the brood mother to get rid of them.
Speaking
Good luck
of,
with that.
yes.
Does
Speaking
she
of
have a
that,
weakness?
yes. What do you know about her?
Horrible creature. Uses the environment to her advantage and then creates her own advantage with the environment. A nasty combination. She molds the earth and the plant life and everything around it as much as her ability can. She has managed to spread all of this damnation around. It's sticky and tacky to humans and humanoids, rather, but to us, it's homey. We can move freely. We know how to walk in it. She creates a terrain for all of us. Her weakness is how to put it. She has almost like a pet, I think. That's what I heard. A little beast, a little her own personal, almost. The name is vulgar, but a gremlin almost runs around on all fours, hackling, giggling about, looks very angry. Never seldom laughs, even though that is how it communicates. It too is very good with nature and the earth, plants, etc. around it, and its cultivation. Would imagine, since they're never far from each other, they're linked in some way. Potentially not. If you damage one, you damage the other, but if you ever want to get them thrown off, you'd have to take care of one.
And your last known
Sorry.
location of her?
I don't believe she has a location. She moves freely between the tumors. She moves freely throughout her corruption. She lives in the ground. It is a part of her.
Oh, wow. That leads to a question I'll have. You say she moves between the corruption. Does she move to it when there's a peak moment for harvesting, so to speak?
Yes. How did you know that?
I'm just guessing. When the pustules, these spots of corruptions, when they reach the ripeness, what does it look like exactly?
Well, normally there's sacks of translucent glowing flesh that leak out this red and black tarish ichor around them as the plant life gets slowly siphoned back into them. What she does is she goes to the most nearby tumor and basically erupts out of it, and then siphons the new energy out. Actually, she herself normally doesn't do that. The little one does. It siphons it all out and brings it to her like a meal.
I guess the question is there a sign when it's about to happen?
When the light is dimming out of the tumor, and when there's no more glow, you can barely see a faint of purple. And as that purple starts to grow, you won't see it for very long, as the little collector will come out and harvest it and leave. But basically, if you can find a fresh tumor, they won't get it if it's anywhere near danger. They will let it sit and marinate, as they call it. Kind of like snarls at that, shakes a little. They'll let it marinate if they think it's in danger. But if there's no problems, he'll come right out and harvest it. I don't know how long it takes. Could take 20 seconds, could take a day. I truly have no idea. All I know is I've seen it once, and I think I caught the tail end of it.
Very good.
And one more question that I've thought of. The worm in the the map, where's that?
The library.
Yeah.
The bookworm.
The bookworm. Do you know of any devils or anything positioned in the region of that worm, or is it, or has it kind of claimed a territory for itself that
Yes,
it's too dangerous to
it
be around?
claimed that territory. There is another monster nearby it. So you have the centipede and you have the monstrosity. These are very strict, do not enter zones. Not for any real reason other than that's their territory. They feud, but at the moment, as long as Laroc is alive and well and not distracted, they don't feud. We know that the monstrosity, I don't know if you know anything about it. It is like the Unthul, but magnitudes stronger. This creature could swipe its arm and take out a whole building. It is most unholy, given its name, the unholy monstrosity. It is horrible. It stays in its location, and it does not move. As it is unhinged, it is feral. The centipede simply stays within its terrain, its domain, and it stays in its box and it roams free. If you enter it, you are destroyed. It takes Laroc a bulk of his energy to keep the monstrosity at bay. It is indiscriminate. It destroys everything. If you want my opinion, you were to be wise to be more afraid of it than the centipede. Surprised you didn't have that information, but it does make sense. It's pretty well kept secrets. The only reason I even know is because whenever I was first summoned, I guess, when I was evicted from my home, it's a better way to put it, they gave me a short rundown before they realized what was going on. Unfortunately, that would be where the bulk of my knowledge ends in that regard. I know it's strong, I know it's powerful, and I know it's being chained down. I can tell you as much as I possibly can about Karan Grimbringer, if you want anything about that. I hate that bastard.
That sounds wonderful. Please elaborate.
Nothing useful, I'm afraid. But very strong, giant bastard. Hope he dies. I'll do anything to kill him. Anything at all. Like I said, I was tortured for many days before I came here. By him specifically. Maybe not him specifically, an avatar, if you will. How to really put it? He can bring you to a place. This would be useful information. He can bring you to another plane almost, like another, but it's not that. It's almost like limbo. It attacks your spirit and your psyche. The things that he can do there are like a dream.
So Tsukuyomi.
Kinda. Afraid that's all I know, though. Can't remember a lot of it. I don't want to remember a lot of it. He's more powerful than he is spellcasty. Rubish than inquisitive, more X rather than Y. You all look like I've said something terrible, although you all just kind of look like shit, so maybe it's just circumstance.
Yes. Well, this is a lot of really good information. before we get to Vince's question. um, is there anyone that you know of more higher up in a position of power, someone powerful to be aware of that we haven't brought up? For instance, the monstrosity versus the centipede.
You brought up an assassin I didn't know of. I knew he was alive or being summoned. I didn't know it was done.
Yeah, he's.
I
Do you know
guess-
how quickly summoned devils can move from continent to continent?
It's a very odd question.
Yes, but like if someone
No.
was summoned in the wrong spot, are there ways to bring
There are no
devils to the
mistakes.
Okay.
Why would we make a mistake when
No.
summoning
Hypothetically,
our
hypothetical
contract?
situation. Come up with a hypothetical number.
There's never been a hypothetical you don't make that error.
Then your best guesstimation.
I don't have one.
No. Well, this does answer
I
the
don't
question.
mean that to be rude. I've never
Yeah,
I've never even heard of, in the hundreds of years I've been alive, of someone mismanaging the most basic of things, such as the summoning.
Yeah.
It's almost like breathing. If you have that talent, you can't really mess it up.
Okay, understood. So, good news. They don't have a way to get him there quickly, as far as we know. There's nothing in
Basically
place.
don't have fast travel, is what you're saying.
Yes. You can't be like, oh no, so and so's missing. Yoink. And then
The
out of
only
terror.
one I know that can do that would be Lou in his new pet. But I don't know anything about that.
Lou
I
has
know
a new
that he
pet.
can teleport.
That sounds.
Yeah. I know absolutely nothing about that thing, though.
Wasn't there, Luke, wasn't there something like we didn't know specific names or peoples of like, not necessarily Lou, but his people underneath him that we were potentially have to go into the city and like fight? Or am I thinking of something completely different or misinterpreting information or just not remembering?
I don't remember anything like that personally.
There was there was there was Lou, and then there was somebody beneath him, like maybe if I saw the map, like I visually can see the map and I remember something about
The last guard before the tower.
yeah.
But here was like some super general before the tower.
Um
You're right there at the entrance to Inner Sanctum.
I'd be curious to know how many generals there are and if it's just that one and who that is.
Oh, well, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Double checking. 1, 2,
There are 8
Right.
X's on the map.
4. There are 4 generals. 4 main generals. Then there are 1, 2, 3, 4 main under generals. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to call them. I don't.
Persons of
Care.
interest, powerful people.
VIP, yeah, very
Yeah.
important. Yeah. I don't dabble in warfare, so I wouldn't know. I apologize. I'm doing my best. But I know that one of the generals is very skeptical. I know absolutely nothing about them, period, other than they're skeptical. I've never laid eyes on them. I've never heard of anyone speaking about him. Maybe I was just stationed in the wrong area. I don't know. All I do know is that he is exceptionally powerful, potentially more powerful than whatever of the other generals there are in one aspect. I don't know what it is.
Well, I think that's all the questions that I had as a player, aside from a final one. But I might try to do that after after Chris does his thing. But does
Yeah,
anyone else have anything quick?
Wait for Chris to ruin it all.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
exactly.
looks like he really wants to ask a question, and he's kind of looking around, waiting patiently for anybody else. Anytime y'all are just like, no, go ahead, he goes, no.
So there isn't like more information to glean on these like VIP people, basically.
Not that he has, no, unfortunately.
Okay. So there was that came to mind, and then each of the areas leading into it. Try to see if there was anything. We talked about the outside, so that way it gets easier to get in. You've discussed the assassin.
See, you're all kind of lost in thought. It's not like I'm going anywhere immediately
And then he
until
blows up.
someone kills me.
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
get it.
sure.
You're salty.
Thanks. You're a peach.
Aw, thanks.
You're welcome.
I feel like in another situation we might have gotten along.
You're not getting along?
This is getting along, but I mean like sitting
Taxes
down,
and laundry, yeah.
having
Taxes and laundry.
having a drink. Maybe I play some music for you.
Yeah, I can have more poison. That sounds great.
Not of that nature, no.
I would love something to drink or eat. It's been a while, actually.
It's been a while.
Yara will kind of strain her neck
Point
to
at
the
Dro and say,
side
eat him.
Yeah.
and kind of
Done.
To ingredients and death.
pull her water container out of her bag of holding and then just hand it out to him.
As you go to hand it to him, he kind of like flinches back.
You've answered a lot of questions, and you also don't want to get a parched throat now. Continuing with more questions, just take the water.
Drinks the whole thing till there's nothing left.
Now it's tainted.
And hands it back.
I'll clean it later.
It has
I just blow
water
my
on it.
3 extra water skins that I have because I have 3 of them sitting around still.
Motherfucker,
Kind of
why are you
looks at you all.
collecting them?
He's chained
In
up, by
memory
the
of
way,
Gwendolyn and Andreas.
and there's long locks that look like they have little runes inscribed in every one of them, and along the collars, and they're locked up to the wall, so he can only go out so far. Along with his neck is chained back, and his legs are chained back as well. And drinks it down. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For what it's worth, I also have like 80 rations in my bag. I just haven't dealt with them yet.
Just give
I
them.
have so many food supplies. I have the bag of holding. I hear noises, by the way, so that's why I'm walking away.
Drunk people having a
The
good
orgy
time.
began.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, you want to take it away?
Yeah, let's hear the question.
So earlier you mentioned if we let you out, you could get us more information.
Of course.
Absolutely. I would love nothing more.
What if we made a contract?
Of course.
Kind of looks at you.
Uh-huh.
Contract.
Honestly,
I do specialize in them. What do you have in mind?
Well, I was thinking, you get us more info. You don't let any info from us go out. You don't harm me or anyone else in our army, and we break you out and break your previous contract with your summoner. And when the war's over, you just go back home.
Get in so much trouble. That's all?
personally, I don't really.
I would love that. He is talking over you so fast. Like, I would adore that. I would scribe that into my body right now. And he kind of like, as he pulls his hands back, you can hear the chains link up. He looks back and takes another step back so he has more movement. I would do anything for that opportunity, Vengar.
We don't know
You
what
just-
his life was beforehand.
You just see Libertina like turning knobs on the sheath. Like you hear like an old television tube. You hear like
He's turning on our hearing aid.
Now,
You must write this contract right now.
I'm gonna grab
I'll do
Vin
whatever you
and
ask.
just kind of pull him aside for a bit.
Please.
Just
Any
now, I like what you're getting at, and I like having an ally. I just don't really trust him going back. I mean, he's done some good things for us. I want to help the guy in a way, but I don't think he should
I have a family.
go
I
back
would like to
within
go
Mecca.
back to my family.
he has a family.
I
Come
have
on, guys.
no part
Come
in
on.
this war.
So, Vin,
His
Are-
little
are
devil
we on
children
the
are
same
waiting for him.
page? Are we on the same page that
Shut up,
that-
George.
that we want to let him go? But I just don't trust him going back.
Well, that's the point of the contract. He goes back. Part of the contract says he can't talk about us or do us harm.
I'm just gonna bring Vin close. Why don't we just let him go, like back to hell? Would that work for you?
Well, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna banish him and then summon him and then banish him when we're done with him.
Are you saying that loud enough for him to hear?
Yeah.
He goes, yes, that sounds wonderful. Send me straight back home. I don't ever want to come back to this fucking plane.
Hey, you just gotta gather some more information, then we'll do that.
Or
I feel like Darius doesn't like this though, so
no, I don't like the idea of him going back into Mecca. I like the idea of him leaving, like back to hell. I like
Why
that
would I
idea.
go back to Mecca? I don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
well, yeah, because I need you to gather more info. That's the whole point of letting you go.
Oh,
No.
forgot
See-
I said that.
Yeah, that's like
I just don't. I
I
think
would
he's
do it.
been through enough.
If it means a chance at going home to my family, I would do it in a heartbeat.
I'm just going to start messaging Vin, so it's just us talking. I like the idea of letting him go. I do. I think I can have more use for him in hell than getting more info in Mecca. Is that all right with you?
a finger gun Luke or Cyrus back. Yeah, you probably got a better idea than I do. And I mean, we got
I
his
will
name,
do
so it's not like we
anything to
can't
go
summon
back
him
home,
back or
please.
something.
All right, perfect.
I will be an informant. My life is already on the line in both hands now. I'm a double agent for both sides. Whatever you want, I don't care. Just send me back home.
I'll ask one more time, since it's been a hot minute. Does it look like the poison has kicked in at any time?
No.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And forgive me if I misheard, but you said back in hell that you were working as a scribe, with contracts.
Kind of. I gather information. I'm a lore keeper. I'm basically a version of a librarian.
Perfect.
I don't fight.
I would be willing
There's no real.
to send you back on a condition that you research something for me and give me information about it.
Done.
All right.
You can see the desperation in his eyes and in his voice, even though he is in a perpetual state of just looking mad, just hard case of RBF. You can still see the slight humanity behind the evil guise that he has, that he's basically been plagued with.
Well, as you know, I am Zarius Rainhill, and there has been a contract with my family's bloodline. I would like for you to find as many details about it as possible and give it to me.
Sorry, it's Rainhill. Rainhill.
The Rainhill family line. My
Rainhill family line.
Great,
Contract. Okay.
my great-great-grandfather made a contract with the devil, and now I look like this.
Long-lasting lineage.
Mhm.
Is this a permanent contract or is this a temporary contract?
I
Or
believe
unknown?
it is unknown. I believe it is more permanent as my great-great-grandfather has passed, but who knows?
Has the contract manifested in any way?
As me. Everyone else in my family is human, but the firstborns are always tiefling.
Right.
So it's definitely related to the bloodline in some way.
Wait, why tiefling? Why not just full? Right? That's odd.
He made a secret contract for power, position, something like that, in order to become head of the Rainhill family, and since then, the firstborns have always ended up like this. So it was a contract that he made, the rest of the family was unaware of. So we would
Are
like...
the firstborns always spellcasters?
Yes, but no. We always have some latent casting abilities, but I think my uncle's just living his life, just in a house doing work.
Who's your uncle? I know it's in the middle of the war. The family lineage doesn't immediately pop into the mind. I
I believe it is my
understand.
uncle. Thethrin. I have an uncle named Thethrin.
Thethrin.
Mhm. I believe.
Grandfather.
Yeah. So it was my great great grandfather, Humphrey Rainhill. He did the deal, and several of us have been affected since. There was my great great aunt Siri, my great uncle Mordai.
He just kind of like waves his hand up. He's like, I that's plenty.
Yeah.
Just needed your previous, current, and beginning great baseline. I can say for certain I don't know any of those names, but I will do all of the research I can. I will dedicate myself to it, especially if I have a contract. I will be forced to.
Yes, perfect. So, and
it is so fun when humans figure out about contracts.
Oh yes, it's a lot of fun. So Zarius would just go over like, there you go. Zarius would just go over like, hey, you need to look into it every so often. Let me know, etc.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. Hold on, I'm getting a lot of messages. Just double
Mine's
checking
just
everything.
Basically, the contract in the notepad form that I've had up this whole time. As you can see, I'm now dark
Okay.
face because the notepad is shut.
Yes.
You know, endure too much on me.
Yes.
I just have a lot going on next to me right now. I apologize. I think Jerome doesn't pay attention to a lot and is a shitty memory.
Look,
Negative
I already
stat man has
forgot this
arrived.
devil's name.
I love Chris's contract more than fucking anything. It is so hastily written, exactly how I imagined Vin would write it. Like, it's so good.
Was not red. Wasn't even red, honestly.
No, it was written once.
It's because the last bit was also get Zarius' family contract info. Like,
Yeah.
It's so like shit thrown together of like this,
Is
this,
that
this,
legally binding? I guess. He signed
and that,
it.
I guess. Like,
My question, I guess, is it seem like everyone's leaning towards Vanguard's idea?
Writing
Your
a
vibe
Joe's just
check in
contract.
the group.
distracted right now.
Yeah.
Joe's cross-eyed.
Actually, Zarius now also looks like he's getting heavily invested in it. So yeah.
Hold on as I look at the tenets of Miracle here. Do not share your opinion or advice unless asked. I'll keep my mouth shut.
So
There we go.
the contract basis will be I help you, you send me to hell, and be rid of my contract, right?
Correct.
How do I sign? Do you want me to drum up the contract? Do you want it in blood, flesh, spit? What do you want?
Spit in his
Metal
mouth.
skin
I
drill.
want to go back to hell.
Anything and everything.
Like ink and paperwork for you.
Yeah.
Done. Done. Get me an ink and paper and I will write it out cleanly. No
Perfect.
holes, no loops, no anything, no nothing.
No Chris notepad. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't know who that is.
We will get him that, and Zarius is smart, so Zarius will look over it to make sure everything is good.
Yeah.
And
He asks for magical ink. He asks for the best quill. He asks for like really good paper. As he starts writing it, if anyone who would like to make Arcana check, you can. He starts scribing all different types of like sigils and runes on the back. Zarius, you recognize these, and Yara, you recognize these most definitely. They are enchantments. Some of them are enhancements. A couple of necrotic sigils and etc. Just normal things for binding on the contract. And then there's a couple that both of you don't recognize. Sarius, you would be able to read them. A lot of it is just, they look like variations of arcane sigils, but the only reason you even kind of realize that is because you speak in Infernal. And as he's scribing out some of them on the sides, you read like, oh, that's the sigil for fire, but over here, that's sigil for sealing. But in here, it says, a devil's contract written in part by blank, signed by X party, blah, blah, blah. It's just like every single sigil has something written around it about a contract. And then they're all bound and linked together. And when he's done, he places his hand on it, and the paper kind of lights up and flares for a moment, and then all the sigils disappear. And he turns it over and he starts writing it out. And it reads very, very easily exactly what's going on. You will send him to hell. You will do everything in your power to break his contract. He will do everything in his power to learn about the Rainhill family. And that's basically it. There's nothing else in there at all.
I think Zarius would have put like
Addendum.
more, well, not like an addendum, but like watching him write this, like, hey, we need like every month you have to give me updates and stuff like that. So there's like a time frame.
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry. How about weekly? Any writes in weekly?
Yeah. because
So happy. Yes.
Because
yes.
Darius knows that, like, oh, I'm going to follow up on this, but then take 3 years to do it, type thing.
Mhm.
So just kind of put like, hey, it doesn't have to be like right away, but updates, etc.
Is weekly too much?
Weekly's good.
It's 4.
Weekly of this planet's time calendar, not like a hell calendar or like some other plane of existence where a week is
Honestly,
like 20,000 years.
Where's the fucking lawyer? Bring his ass out here.
Where's Rick when we need him?
He starts unwriting the letters, and you see the letters start ripping off of the page back into the quill. And he goes, okay. How about we do monthlies, mandatory, but
Monthly's mandatory.
I can tell you that I will be letting you know you're about to go into war. Me giving you the information about yourself helps me as well, so I'll get on it.
And then I think Zarius would also write in just like a little addendum that if he for whatever reason cannot be contacted, then send the information to Thana. Rainhill.
Thana. Who is Thana?
Sister.
Okay. Does Thana know I leave that to you.
Yep, you're good.
And he just keeps writing it. Future proofing.
Yep, exactly. If I die, I want someone to know.
Yep. And he writes that in. And he says, and he kind of looks at all. And he writes at the bottom, as the war is ongoing and until declared by Zarius Rainhill, and he slowly writes out every one of your names, if you'll allow him to, by the way, as declared to Zarius Rainhill, Venbar, quote, Achaka, end quote, Libitina, Droclarn, Yara Blaine, I will give daily updates of any information that I find. Period.
I don't want my name on there.
You don't really need to update Zarius.
He unwrites Droclarn.
All right.
You come near me, I kill you. I'll tell you that right.
I mean, sorry, do you really want to make another family contract? I could just like bite the bullet on this one.
No, I think I'm good on this. This is just information. This is not a hereditary bloodline curse. It's just,
I don't have blood.
Like, if you need to contact me, if you can't get into contact with anyone else, but
No, you're good. All right. I believe that was everything that I had.
I'm also going to put a clause if I can't speak, then it's okay for me to go overtime, but only if it's hostile in nature.
Okay.
I don't
Sounds
want to
good.
die because I'm being held prisoner, and I'd rather not be able to go, oh, Zarius, my good friend, about your family heirloom that I'm looking into right now, and then everyone around me knows.
Understood. Reasonable.
I assume I'm gonna probably be dead anyway, so I'd rather be forced to speak to you all at least daily, so you know if I don't, I'm gone.
Smart. Well, I believe that's it. Though, actually, Zari's going to turn to Dro and be like, Dro, do you have a ration we can give this poor guy real quick?
I pull out some of the rations from my bag, the 80 that I have. It's just one for each party member. I haven't updated since Esri joined. It's just dried food and shit.
Enjoy your
He just
dry
kinda stares at it.
crackers, bread, and raisins.
It's just dried
Yeah.
fruit and meat.
Enjoy your jerky.
Yep.
This is free for you before we send
I
you
just
back.
straight up hand him one of the 3 water skins I have. I have a couple of these.
And he very slowly eats it. It will take him about 2 minutes to eat the whole ration. He'll very slowly bite by bite, making sure not to eat it too fast.
Yep, and just during that time, I'm just going to take the contract, give it another once over, detect magic. Just, just make sure there's no funny business. Even though we watched him do it, I'm just going to take extra precaution, make sure it's in our favor. Yep.
It looks legit.
All right.
After he's done, he kind of drinks a little bit of the water skin. He hands it back to you, just in case. I don't want anyone to know. Thank you.
Yep.
Um,
All right.
So how
I'm going to cast a spell on you. Let it happen, and you'll go home. Sound good?
It'll take 1 whole minute.
It will take a
you're
minute.
sure me going home is okay?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. We should probably check with like how this whole place is set up and make sure we don't
Probably good idea. I think they have blocks up.
Yes, we do have blocks up. And
I'll turn this off real quick so we can.
I use my poor eye vision to look around and see if we're being watched.
Oh yeah.
a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
They're everywhere. They're
Um,
being watched.
He is locked up right now, and you all do know that you would have to leave this safe haven of the illusion in order to teleport out anywhere.
Okay. I will order a few of those surrounding people to prepare him for transport to get him out.
The main guy kind of comes up, like right as you're signing off on the contract, and right as you finish, he looks at you, goes, "Are you serious?" And then like right as you lift your quill off of the paper, it lights up in a fire and is just stained into the paper now, and the paper itself flares up and disappears.
Yes, I would feel much better if he wasn't here and broken from his current contract. Put my mind at ease.
Anything for Mecca. And everything.
Otherwise, we're just going to have to hold him for a while until we win the war, and then his contract's broken, or we just kill him. But I don't.
I'm so sorry. Permission to speak my mind, sir.
Go ahead.
You can see him fighting, like you see veins bulging out of his bald head and like out of his neck, and he's just like, I have to heavily advise against this, sir. This is the enemy. We shouldn't just let the enemy just leave.
Oh no, we're moving him.
Yeah, we just recruited him.
No.
We recruited him? Kind of straightens himself out.
No. There's more than one way to.
Where's that modified memory spell?
This isn't a
It's all
devil,
lyric,
it's a
friend. You
celestial
don't
in
have it.
disguise.
There are various ways to win a war, and watching our backs and removing obstacles is all part of it. I understand your hesitation. However, he has given us plenty of good information. Are you saying that your work here was not up to par, that we should not have trusted this devil because your methods were ineffective?
No, sir, not at all. Not at all. He was a special case.
And I trust
I
that
understand.
you and your coworkers would have found anything if it were amiss. And now we're going to make sure he is not influencing this war any further.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. He kind of stands up. I'll get someone to unleash him. And he walks out. And as he does, like a couple of guards he hands him some keys and kind of just walks out. A couple of the other guards walk up and go and unlock him from his shackles. And as they do, he kind of like cracks his back, snaps about. It's quite all right, gentlemen. I can walk on my own. Thanks, though. Unless you feel the need to escort me, in which case, if you poke yourself, I do have poison, so just be careful. It's just like very like rude to the men that have been torturing him for the past couple of hours.
Yes.
Or actually, no, couple of minutes, actually. Yeah.
Well, we will. Well, why don't I lead you out so that way we can get you home? But a nice, humble opinion might be nice, seeing as you're not contracted with anyone else here.
He kind of looks at the guards. He says, "That means fuck off." And he immediately stands up and just starts walking with all of you like, my boys.
meaning, meaning I'm supposed to help you out, but if anyone like stabs you on the way out, I'm not liable.
He gets it. But doesn't mean anyone else gets it.
Yep.
And he stands up and he's walking with all of you, and the guards kind of hands up. And you all start leaving. And you march out.
Do we have like a disguise someone else spell that we can do? Like, put a little wig on him.
It's
So I
just
feel like
Throw a
there's like a
blanket over
devil
it.
spy watching him. Like I'm like,
Get
get him
Oh,
away.
yeah,
I don't.
put a wig, a
Please don't answer
dress,
that question.
No?
a brassiere on
Okay.
him.
Nothing? Okay. So you all walk him up the stairs, and as he walks out, kind of squints his eyes. Where the hell are we?
Don't worry, I'm going this way.
All right. And he just keeps walking as he's looking about. Is this an illusion?
Eyes
This is
down.
an odd illusion. Drags his foot across the ground, and it.
I have a disguise self I could put on him.
Well, it's this
Or
guy's
not
self.
I just
Hey, it's
yeah,
in the
dumb.
name.
This guy's
And,
self, you disappear and he doesn't change. Like, oh right.
It's me
You
trying
just
to
make
use
two
absorb
devils
elements
walking.
on you.
I could stick a
Um,
minor illusion over his face.
As he tears
Paper
across the
bag,
ground with
following him around.
his toe, and it like rips apart the illusion slightly as it starts to grow back. He just kind of looks back. It's very odd. He keeps walking. And you all, with no interference, obviously, as you're all the big dogs here, you all walk out of the illusion, no problem. And the moment you walk out, he looks around and goes, "Oh, now that looks like normal. Whatever normal is around here.
And once we're out,
Let's get me home.
We should have blinded
Everything
him.
about this place."
Oh
yeah,
no.
let's get rid of you. You ready? And I'm gonna cast
Very much.
banishment on him.
Okay.
Hopefully he ends near where his house is.
Mm-hmm.
I never stipulated that. I just said I'd send him home.
Nope. Yep. He never wrote that in there because he didn't think he could. I thought about it a couple of times.
It's fine.
Um,
Then guard, you choke
He-
Zarius. I stab him.
Yep. I'm gonna
I with
cast.
both hands reach to strangle two people.
Am I one of them?
Always.
and with
I'm
that,
gonna
as
be
you,
one of them. I deserve it.
as you teleport him out, as you banish him, and as you hold the spell, and it fades, you see the image of him as he was standing there kind of fizzle away, or at least that you know that he's there, kind of thing, and he's gone.
Nice.
All right. I have some stuff to deal with.
Yes, you do.
We should have blinded him. Oops.
We should have removed his eyes.
Well, no, because he mentioned the summoners are all blind and can see what their summons see. And he just did the toe thing to see how the illusion worked.
Oh. Oh well.
Chris, the actual fucking smartest person in the room right now.
But in the contract, we said he couldn't harm us or give out any information about her, so I don't know. Because he's still under their contract until he gets banished, so it's...
He got banished.
I'll follow Zarius to where the fuck he's going.
Well, Zarius, wherever the fuck are you going?
I'm probably going back to my area where I have packages.
I'm gonna go harass
Indeed.
Thea.
Lovely.
You have a couple of Amazon deliveries at your door. Gonna go harass Thea. What a statement.
Which is probably pretty close.
Yeah. What's everyone else doing? I know
I'd say
Libertina's
tinkering with
following.
Earthquake, but I don't have any spell slots left to do that. Actually, none.
It's almost like you'll need a rest or something like that.
Yeah. If
A rest would be great.
Yeah.
I just want to do one thing before we rest.
Maybe talk to
Yep.
Summit.
Like take a nap.
Who? I just didn't hear you is all.
Time it.
Yeah, sure, you can do that. We're going to. I'm sorry, I can't resist. We're gonna start with Vin first. Vin, what are you harassing Thea for?
I'm gonna show her my sweet wings, and I'm assuming Zarius is nearby for my sweet horns. Look, she's got to put me under to do this surgery. I'm going to sleep one way or another.
Zarius, are you there?
Oh no.
He's headphoneless.
Asking for him.
There we go.
Before you go, Finn, would you like to ask him for something?
Oh,
Before
can I
he
get
leaves?
those devil horns you had?
Oh, yeah. Oh, doing this now?
Yep. Yeah, I gotta get it over with. I'm gonna sleep one way or the other.
Okay. I don't think I have them. I think Dro has them.
Y'all are all right next to each other.
He's, yeah. Remember,
I look behind you, like slightly lower. Oh, never mind.
Oh, not towards you, best buddy. I fucking hate that guy. Hey, best buddy.
I'll let Devil go.
Well-
Dro for the horns.
Give him any bullshit he needs. Like, I hate you so much. That stupid Faye is gonna give you these damn things. Gonna graft in your body and ruin you again.
You're actually gonna give it to him? That's amazing. All right.
Look,
I
we
was
all know
gonna say
horns
we need for him
equals
before
charge.
too, but we needed him for something else, like his gloves. So I used him for that instead. Maybe another
Link
pair.
everything in the chat that Chris is about to have or bargain with, etc.
I don't know if I actually put it into my goddamn inventory this time. That's the problem. He's like, I'm collecting this. I'm giving it to hold. I was like, neat. I think I was just distracted.
Okay, and we're talking about the Krulavox horns, right?
I think so.
Yeah, the giant horns. Just okay.
The size of his body, he's gonna
Did I
crash.
not
his
put the
skull.
wings in my pocket? I swear I put them in my pocket.
I know you
The wings
cooked
from
them. I don't know
what?
putting them down.
So from the Bile Beast, or from the Bile
Not
Art?
the bile beast, but the armored demon with wings.
Oh my fucking god!
Because my
yes,
logic
you
was
did.
they're as big as
The
I am,
bile
if
beast
not
is
bigger,
integrated, if
and
I
have
remember correctly.
armor, so they
Yeah.
can clearly carry my weight.
Yes.
Yep.
That was
Okay. Cool.
good
What I've
logic
jotted down
there.
is a Krulavox skin, which will be Dro's going early to sleep, so we can work on his shield, and then armor for Libitina, or modifying her armor with Krulavox bullshit. Or whoever
Sounds
needed
good.
it. I don't remember who wanted it.
Okay.
Like all I'm hearing is we could graft skin on Vin to make him a demon skin.
No.
Just make me a
No.
devil.
No.
You're already becoming
Okay.
enough of one, you're fine.
What'd you
all
say?
right.
Huh?
Nah?
What?
Never mind.
No one
I
said
thought
anything to you.
I misheard something. Sorry, I'm doing 3 things at once. Sorry.
No, so
Keep
was
working.
Vin's becoming enough of a devil. He doesn't need any more.
I'm going demon
Got it.
mode.
Oh wait, Chris, I'm removing your temp HP because it's been driving me insane.
The reason I had the temp HP is to see what my
I
health
know.
was. Okay.
Yeah. No, I remember.
That means we're
by the
gonna get a
way,
long rest soon, guys.
Everyone
sore
leveled,
limbs.
right? Like just
I
double
did.
checking. We all already did that. We already picked our spells. Blah blah blah.
Is everyone
If
level
not,
13?
right
I
now is a chill time to do that.
Gotcha.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Or stay at level 12. Like a
Yep.
bitch.
Yep. Anyways, so while they figure that out, then you take the horns and the wings and you march on over to Thea's. You stroll on in. She has her own little tent. Actually, you would be going with Zarius. We'll just say for brevity that Zarius is talking with Yara before you show up, and Libetina's talking or like following Zarius around. Just because that makes sense right now. And then you kind of walk on in, and Thea is kind of sitting in a chair, scratching her head as she's reading a book, and kind of looks up at you, looks back down, looks back up. Oh, darling Vin, hello, how are you, dear? Puts a bookmark in, closes it, and puts it away. How
I'm a
are
little
you?
tired, a
Look,
little beat up, but I got
you
some
look a little
ideas.
tired and beat up, but you honestly, Vin, I've seen you worse off, and you look pretty okay. How can I help you? You have ideas. What does that mean exactly, dear?
You down to do some surgery, some grafting?
Vin, you're not serious, are you? You're pulling my leg?
Yeah, I got some more parts, and I just like pull out the wings, the fucking big ass horns. I'm like,
And she immediately just starts like drooling, and like she's like catching her spittle and yes.
these horns are kind of big. Can you like make me bigger so I don't look like all horns? And
No, well, yes. Wouldn't it be smarter to shrink the horns?
I mean,
to
whatever is
you?
easier. Yeah, like
No, yeah, I'll compact them and make them stronger. Vingara Chaka. Wow. Look at you. You're serious.
well, I got to do everything I can to win this war. I mean, I can't just go in there half-assing it. I don't know why they're not like grafting on sweet demon skin and doing cool stuff too. Like, it is an option.
It most certainly is, Vin. Oh, it is indeed. Okay, all right. Yes. I didn't bring all of my tools. Let me go procure a few of them. I'll scare a few guards and get what I need. Make yourself comfortable. I'll be right back. And she is frothing at the mouth as she kind of like harpy walks out and kind of stops and straightens up, breathes. Yes, and walks out. And you're just kind of sitting there like, oh, she's crazy.
I'm like, well, I'm glad she's excited about this. I have nothing to worry about. I'm in good hands.
So at this time, Zarius, Libitina, you will have walked away from Ezri or Yara and walk into your tent, and you see Vin just kind of standing there holding like two giant devil wings.
Well, I like to think I
some
put them on a
horns.
table and I'm just slowly de-armoring because I'm like, well, I can't let this
Okay,
one have
yeah.
surgery done.
That makes sense. Yeah, you're doffing all your stuff, and you kind of look over as he's taking off his chain shirt.
Zarius thinks nothing of it, but me as a player, I'm like, oh, great. Is Vin going to be added to this so-called harem that I have because he's derobing in my tent?
See the sweet Trixie tramp stamp on me.
The good old Zarya's harem.
Well, I
Is that-
mean, do y'all want to talk about anything? What are y'all doing here?
I did want to talk to Zarius about something. It's just more of a request.
Mm-hmm.
She.
By the way, while you're talking about this, I want you to be thinking about the scene. Vin is undressing. There's a pile of
Yeah.
2 demon wings, 2 giant demon hordes, and a stack of 4 bodies sitting in the room.
And I'm gonna go over to the bodies and start laying them out.
And you saw Thea walking out looking so like beaming in excitement as she's walking out.
Look, I don't care about the bodies. I really don't. But I do care that Vanguard and Thea are in here. Those are my only problems. I'll just be straightforward. Zarius, I wanted to ask you a favor, if you can. I've been thinking about practicing a skill, and I believe you'll be able to help me with it.
Just a big smile. He pulls out his spell book. What is it?
Oh, well, I can briefly conjure illusions. And of course, I know how to perform a couple illusions. There's one I've been practicing that separates my shadow to create a mirror image of myself, and I was wondering if you can give me some information or some help on that. That would be wonderful.
Yes.
I'm whispering this the whole time because I don't want fucking Vanguard or Thea to hear me at all.
Dude, that's big help.
Yeah, that's big.
That is big hell. That's nice.
Big help.
That's a good roll.
I should say.
That's one-off max.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm going to open my spell book and flip through a few things. Like, I actually have used that previously to make sure that I don't get hit quite as much. Let me show you what I know. And I have mirror image that I'd be
Yes, you do.
more than willing to share the info about.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
Just not around
you
these
do
two.
exactly that. As you're kind of pulling it all up, and you're showing it's just like, yeah, so this spell would require, and like right as you say that word, like and like as y'all are like about to leave, Thea kind of like barges in, and she's carrying like very scrambled, like has a bunch of like different embalming tools, different like knives, and assortment of other things. Has like 8 different like rolls of like medical supplies. She goes, "Oh, darling, I'm back. Oh, hello. Hi,
Yes.
Libitina. Master Zarius.
Right.
I'm here to embalm those bodies, like you asked, Master Zarius, and nothing else at all."
Does Libitina have a tent, or is everybody just staying in my tent?
You can have your own tent. You just have to ask. I figured I would be in your tent because you asked me to be close at hand in case you needed anything, so I just was using your tent. Would you like me to get my own tent?
No.
I can get my own tent, but then I believe I'll be watched the entire time, and I'm already being watched the entire time. Can I stay in your tent? This
I'm
is
sure-
the first time you've ever seen like Thea like out of her own like character. Like she truly like it looks like she was just talking as like this lady for a while, and then now she's like stuck in that mode.
I'm sure Dro won't mind if we talk about spells in his tent. Let's go.
You're gonna make me use his room. Thank you so much. And she
Well, I
sits
won't
on
be
the
using
she
my
just
tent.
drops
So, like, you just
everything.
have mine.
I'm going to just on the way out. I'm going to message her. I'm like, those are my bodies. Do not touch my bodies.
Darling, have no fear. And as you walk out, she shuts the curtains. Ovin.
Oh God.
Ovin.
Oh.
So you're serious. You're 100% serious. 110% serious.
Yeah. I'll
Lay
be able
down.
to fly, right?
Don't care. Lay down.
Oh, okay.
She, like, as you're, like, getting everything off, she just, like, rips off the rest of your armor. She's like, get on the bed. And
Oof.
just,
Oh,
like,
okay.
immediately, like, starts going, like, full hag mode. Like,
I like lay there and I'm
carrying
like, I'm gonna be able to put my armor on, right? It's like magic, it'll like conform to it or whatever. And I like
I
think
think
she
you're
just
laying on
uses.
your back. It's like,
Oh,
oh, I'm
my
laying
stomach.
down. Like,
yeah,
on your stomach.
You're laying on your back. And she's like, wings first, horns later. Wings first, horns later. Horns have to procure. Horns have to.
Oh,
train. And she's like,
Swear.
I roll over,
this-
I'm just like, I'll be able to wear my armor, right? Like this isn't gonna like make me.
yes, no, yeah. You can have Drew cut holes in the armor easily. It's fine. He's a blacksmith. That's what he does.
No, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Easy. All the armor. Yeah, it'll. She kind of. You can't see what she's looking at, but she looks at it. She's like, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Come here.
I will make it to where your body is perfect. If he can't make the armor conform to you, honestly, then he's kind of not very good at his job.
Oh yeah, let's do this.
it makes me see your armor and your mace.
Excellent.
I'll become a monk.
Do you want me to bring him the
Good mommy.
armor while you're asleep? Or do you
Oh,
want me
yeah.
to bring him in here? I'll just bring him in here when you're done. I'll show you off like a.
Yeah, you can get the
Wow.
measurements. It'll be easy.
Yeah, it'll be perfect. As she's like talking, and you can feel like she's like drawing stuff on your back while her other hand is like using spells and lifting up the horns and kind of like placing them in like a almost like a stasis on another spot, and she starts dripping like different oils and is wrapping them up, and she's looking at you and
Oh, look at the babies.
just making sure that you're fine. Okay, do you do baby?
Look at my dog die.
He's like, please stop this, please. And as she's like wrapping all these up, and when she's done, she inscribes a couple of things, and you can see that the horns themselves start to glow an odd orange color, and it looks as though they're already starting to shrink, but you can't quite tell. Probably if you looked at them for too long, they would look normal, but then if you like, kept looking back and forth, you might be able to see them actually shrink. It's kind of like watching paint dry. She goes, now this will take a while. Just
Yeah, it took a minute with
You're
the
just
eyes.
gonna-
I get it.
yeah. You're just gonna stay just like you are, and right. Oh man. And she kind of walks up to you and kind of like scratches you on your back and pats you on the right in the middle of your back. She goes, Why wings?
He's seen the ground outside of this illusion.
It's discomforting, yeah.
Yeah, it's a real hindrance and slowdown. I kind of just want to not deal with it. Also, there's flying demons. I need to, be able to fly and drag them to hell.
Fair enough.
Plus,
Now,
Esther
you're
gonna be
not
fly, so
going-
you have to kill her, right?
You're not going to be able to hide these. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Wonderful. Given different circumstances, I could make them fold in or something along those lines. But right now, it's quick and dirty. Make them work and make them look good. That's what I'm after right now. Good attachments. Right.
Good function. Good fly.
Right. So, yeah, let's just get right to it. And I can say I am woefully unprepared for you to have actually done this. So I'm so happy right now. Chris, can you set your stuff to private roll? And can you roll me 2 dice? I need you to roll a D100. And then depending on that, you'll roll a different dice.
Please die. I mean, good luck.
Good number.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Can you roll a death saving throw?
Ah, yes.
I'm really good at those.
It's happening.
I need to be at
You
0
are really
health.
good at those.
Can I just roll a d20?
Roll 1.
Yeah, just roll a d20. Okay. Go ahead and roll another one. Okay. And yep, go ahead and roll another one.
And here's
Go
your
ahead and
character
roll another
sheet.
one.
The look of concern, I like it.
I'm telling you right
And
now,
go ahead and roll one more.
if he dies,
5.
I'm taking.
Oh, surgery! There was no malpractices, everyone. We're good.
If he would have
Yeah,
died, I
last
would have
one,
took
right.
his soul shard and I would have left. I would have took it with me.
There's
So
no
guys, Dad won't watch
malpractice
off,
charges.
son. What?
Everyone, we're good.
That was an absolute journey to be a part of, by the way, for everyone else. We're gonna just, all right.
some of
So the
those.
D100, pretty good. Pretty
Death
good.
save.
The first death save.
First death save.
So close.
Pretty good. Pretty solid.
Second death save.
Ooh, that was a nice one.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Third
Oh,
death
that's
save.
a good one.
Also spicy.
Fourth death save.
I was like, oh no! It all
This
comes
was
down
a
to-
journey, and I'm gonna not show you all the last one. What
Just remember the
ends up
facial
happening?
expressions I made.
Just
Concern.
so then, as you're laying there, she hands you a bottle and says, "Well, go ahead and drink this, and then I'm gonna start putting ointment on you, and then I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, and then the moment you can't answer them anymore, I'm just gonna get to work."
Okay.
Sweet. So as you start drinking, she's putting like stuff on your back and you don't even know what it is. And she's showing you, she's like, well, this is just linen. It's soaked in a certain material and oil and a couple of other things just to make sure I don't miss or miscut anything. I'm isolating your plates on the back of your like shoulder blades. It's where I'm gonna hook the so you'll be able to control them with muscles, and with the muscles you'll be able to control them, and then you'll be able to and like your whole everything starts to like fade out. He goes, now Vin, what's your name? And as she says it, she Vin.
Gwendolyn.
All right, wonderful. One more time. What's your name?
Andreas.
All right, and you feel a tug on your spine, and like that, your vision starts to fade out. And that's just where Vin's gonna end for a while.
Fade to black.
Huh?
Good God.
Oh.
Let's camera pan on over to Dro
I
for
love
a
it.
moment.
Hello.
Oh, Dro, what are you doing?
Well, aside from just cleaning up the Krulevok skin, I have a bit. Looking at Earthquake and getting ideas what to make of Earthquake. Because I have some ideas about it, but it's like, I had to adjust you a little bit. But I got
Mhm.
no fucking magic left today, so I'll deal with you tomorrow morning. And I guess I'm going to be
All
climbing
right.
into bed as two assholes barge into my tent.
Yep. And
Speaking of two
right
assholes,
as you're like, yep, right as you're starting to like, you're kind of looking at the
unwind,
shield.
go to bed, and
Yeah, you
I
write
have
down
a
a couple
bad
of
feeling.
notes. Yeah, you write down
A
a couple of
bad feeling
notes.
tingles on my spine, like
put it away.
assholes are coming to bother me. I already know.
Exactly. Right as you lay down, you get all snuggled up, you drink your little water skin, put it down, put your head on the pillow, you hear footsteps and you no.
That's for me.
And they start getting closer, you're like, no. Bum, bum, bum. And then you just hear Zarius just describing like how the magic works and how you're supposed to make the spell and blah blah blah. And take it away, boys, as you enter into the tent about halfway through your conversation.
Yeah, so the basis of it is confusing it, and when you cast the spell, the main focus of it is to make yourself seem naturally moving, and the clones naturally move. Hydro.
Right as you
George is clearly sitting in bed, blanket over his waist, looking at you. Dead eye, like, motherfucker.
Would you mind if we just sat in the corner absolutely quietly for a few minutes? My tent is being used.
For what?
I'm trying to teach this one a spell.
No, your tent.
I don't want to know. But it's the big
It's
one.
fucking thin, isn't it?
Yes.
Damn it.
I'm just going to sit down in the corner, and the entire conversation is going to be via message, so we're silent.
I just hop out of bed like, God damn it. You're fine, you're fine.
Okay. It shouldn't take too long. I'm so sorry.
I might bother you about things I have to do for the future anyways. Just gonna do it in the morning, but
Oh.
Since you're here, might as well.
Okay. Yeah, sure. What do you have in mind?
For you can see the corner of the monkey skin that's been slightly processed and fixed up.
Oh.
And then I just adjusted at Earthquake, like I wanted to make some adjustments there too.
Yeah.
Fuck that skin. I'm going to use it. It's going to be useful.
Oh yeah. That was some really tough hide, and I think it would make a great adaptable armor piece.
This is working against a lot of our attacks, though.
Yeah.
It's almost like we had countermeasures to it.
You know, I feel like the rapid fire succession made it difficult, but if we're wearing it against one thing that uses one thing only, it would be very helpful. That just task Libitina my spell book open to mirror image, and I'm just pointing stuff out.
We're just chatting about armor and weapons and shit.
Chatting.
Libitina, roll an Arcana check.
Yeah, I was going to say, I gotta decipher this now.
It's like this symbol is.
I am there to help, obviously.
Mhm. So without it being at disadvantage,
All
it's
right.
going to be at normal.
Here we go.
These are pretty lines you have drawn here.
No, you at least understand the basis of it. And when you try to cast it, you just basically do a really shitty minor illusion that kind of just goes away, and you're like, all right, now look at the little puppy though.
So
almost
adorable.
kissed.
Is that the one you're
wanna
keeping?
put
Is
this
that which one is that one?
There's so many of them.
Yeah, but which one are you keeping?
I don't know yet.
Oh, okay. I feel like it's supposed to be that one.
They all look the same, except for one.
No, okay.
Yeah, the black one.
Is that the one you're keeping?
Do you want it, Mitch?
I say
think
yes,
Mitch wants that
George.
one.
Yeah, sure.
I really do want a puppy, but no. Oh my god, stop. Stop. Stop.
I also really want a puppy. I'm
God,
really
go
tempted to too,
away.
because I have 4 animals in the house, but none of them are mine.
Add to the zoo.
Add
None
to
of
the
them are
zoo,
my
Matt, do
pet.
it.
They're all Carly's pet. So
Matt,
it's like, I
do it.
want a
Add to the
dog.
zoo. Do it, pussy.
I just want a dog.
Dogs for the dog throne.
You might come
Pets
just
for the
invade
pet
your house one
god.
day, grab a dog, and throw money at you.
I would not.
Do it. What's the best one, George? Which is the one that's the least much of a piece of shit?
They're just starting to figure out how to exist,
Piece of shit.
Okay.
so
Okay.
it's hard to tell.
Yeah, one.
They just figured out how existing works. So
Yeah, they
How
no
long until
longer
they're
look
happy
like
no longer
little-
being your mom? The real question. How long do I have to make a decision?
yeah, yeah,
That's my
Yeah,
question.
how long? How long we got?
maybe a week or two.
That's sooner than I expected. That's a really fast decision. Shit.
I'm
I'm working night shift right now.
That's
Matt,
when
I got a coin right here. I can flip it for you right now. Say the word. I've been learning how to do this thing, but I'm really bad at it. I
Yeah, I'm
can't do it.
working night shifts right now. It's really hard for
You
me
don't
to do
have a pile
anything.
of change, like a little stack of it at your desk at all time for when you need to flip a coin?
Well,
I
yeah.
got some fucking
that's why-
bottle cap. That's not a bottle cap. Bottle caps.
Matt, I got you. Like, what do you want? You call it in the air right now. I'll flip it.
I don't even know myself, man. That's the problem.
Heads or tails, Matt? Heads or tails? What do you?
Tails never fails, but
Oh, it's heads.
let's say I want a dog anyways.
Oh,
It's heads. No immediate impulse decision. Now he has to wait.
I got a week.
right.
Yep. All right. Anyways, you cast the minor illusion, and it's really dog shit. Pun intended. It's horrible. You very clearly don't really get it.
Listen, you made 3 illusions, but they're all shorter than you. I know which one's you.
How tall am I?
Taller than that. You're
I'll give
Five,
you an exact
four.
measurement.
The
maybe you
illusions are
knowing
like
your height.
here, and like nothing.
Without even looking, I'll just like state her height because I've measured her for armor.
I'll try.
yeah.
I'll practice. I'll see if I can.
Without I can translate the exact height into like, oh yeah, that's an exact number I can visualize and project. It's how much?
Oh God.
I'll just.
With that, we're gonna slide over camera pan to Esri. Esri, what are you up to aside from brooding and leveling?
I'm wondering where 2 people are at. I'm looking for Timet, and I'm looking for Alashik, our assistant.
That makes me so happy. You find Tymant. He's just kind of you see actually he just recently walked back into the illusion. Is kind of looking around, and he kind of looks towards the tent and just starts marching towards it. And then you start like coming at him at an angle, and he just kind of stops, looks at you, and just kind of waits.
Timet, I hope I'm not pulling you away from anything immediately pressing.
Absolutely not. Thank you for your assistance earlier today. I hope everything went well. You don't look too terrible. I've heard that the rest of your party looked much worse, so glad to see that you came out relatively unscathed.
Relatively. I do have a couple questions for you, if you have the time.
Of course. It's getting late. I was hoping to lay down. we'll lay down the foundation of a couple of things and then actually go to sleep. But yeah, that would be just fine. What did you have in mind? Do you want to talk here? Do you want to go inside of the building? Do you have another place, etc.?
Wherever would be comfortable to talk about the Guardians.
Specifically,
In kind of a general sense, I know I've talked to you personally about Rorschachs, but do you know anything of the other Guardians?
oh, okay. I would love to explain all of those things. How about you meet me in my quarters in, let's say, an hour? Let me decompress and give a report and get clean, and then we'll go from there.
That
I'd
sounds
also like to
reasonable.
eat.
That sounds
Thank
completely
you.
reasonable. I have one other errand in the meantime, so that should be no problem.
Wonderful. I'm in that tent. I'll see you in an hour. And he goes off to do his thing.
Now she would go find Alashik.
Sweet. Alashik would be in the. So there's the main tent, and then there's there's like a little hub next to it. That's kind of like almost encircling around it. Each of them has different roles that they play that you all don't really mess with. One of them is they gather a bunch of information and it like goes to there and then it gets spread out to different locations and then they all spread it to each other. So you just check individual tents and then you find Alashik. And he's just kind of sitting there, kind of writing stuff down and looks up. Yara,
Hello.
hi. How can I
Hello.
help you? Yeah.
I'm searching for someone. Basically, I'm looking for a guy who's part of the organization. Towards the organization, he was the elf, the ranger. Or he seemed like a ranger. Oh shoot, what was his name? Looking for it. I found Alashik's name. Where on earth did his name go?
Should just have Jared play as Alashik. Get him in here.
Good.
Force him to be really fucking confused.
Just right now. Hey, Mayor, come talk to these guys.
You
and I
get a
just walk away,
serum
no
mist,
context.
and do you know where this is? Just have him be really fucking lost.
I asked for this hours ago. I need this information. Come on, man.
Gets you a serum mist drink and goes, one of these, Ka? Like,
Dear Mrs. God, it's now called Starry. It's awful. They changed the name.
They did.
Wait, did
and
they really?
No, like they legit did.
Yeah. Dear
And-
Mrs. Gone now.
And it's funny because you said that, and I'm like, huh, that's a weird fact. But like, I almost like didn't like necessarily believe you. But then everywhere I've gone, I've seen like sticky notes over the Sierra Mist
Yeah,
bottles. and
sorry.
it's like, sorry. I'm like, wow, they did do a
They
rebrand.
branded it.
By the way, y'all
We're
wanted
in the dark
Sierra
timeline.
Mist. You wanted the person you're looking for is Elidor. Who else did y'all want?
Sierra Mist, the Tiefling Guard Father, and Mabu.
Who is Tiefling Guardfather? That's not even kind of ringing a bell for me.
The father of the girl in
Oh, the father of the daughter Scarlet, right?
yeah, Scarlet. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Scarlet's dad.
Okay, cool. Just
It was
want to double check.
Elidor?
Elidor.
Let's see.
I think it was Elidor.
That looks like a very. I do have a note on Elidor, and that was from Wands and Things. A very nice merchant named Elidor refused to sell to
You
me.
people can have the same name.
Okay,
There's like
that's
7
fine.
thieves in one
That's
town. Don't worry
fair.
about it.
I've met multiple Lukes. I've met
How about
multiple Chris's.
What's your note on Elidor?
I have like
It's the
10
guy that
mats in
wouldn't
my
sell you anything?
company.
Oh, it was the guy that wouldn't sell you anything.
Yeah, he wouldn't
Oh,
sell me
that's
anything.
right.
I
Oh,
have down here.
He sorry, he keeps his name. Sorry. Nope, that guy was funny. I liked him a lot.
Oh no, not me, Luke, or
Yeah,
Zarius.
he
When
dislikes
it-
how the Rain Hills disown their own kin, even though
Yes.
they're cursed, and supports the army fighting against the devils.
Yes.
Yep, Elidor. Elidor's great.
That's what
He's
I
a high
have on
elf.
that.
Those are racist.
But I, for whatever reason,
Yeah, high
I
elf
can't
sucks.
find the guy who I talked to from the organization. Where did he go?
What was his role?
He's the one who informed me personally about like what was going on the whole like nasty ground and brood mother and
Nadaru Fulmek? Or Nadaru?
that might be. How do you
He's a
spell his name?
dragonborn. Nidaru.
Oh, I have that not spelt that way, but yes, that looks right. Yes.
Okay.
I basically was just gonna give him because he's part of Torn's organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to like hopefully find him.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, easy. Yeah, you can get them both in the same tent. So you have Alashik and Nadaru in the same tent if you want, or you can talk to them separately since you literally haven't spoken a word to Alashik yet, and he's just kind of staring at you.
Well, when she walks in, she'll kind of give an acknowledging nod to Alice Sheik, but turn her attention towards Nadaru, right?
Oh, that hurts the soul. All right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is one other person I can send her to find. I doubt she's
Alashik's
even
a dude, by the way.
or he, sorry. I mean, I could send him. I highly doubt she's even in the area. Now I gotta find her name. The tattoo lady.
Oh. Tattoo lady.
I doubt it, but if Torn happened to
Wow,
bring her along, then cool.
That's a person to just drop.
Like I said,
Wow.
it's
Where did I even put her in my notes? Yeah, where did I put her in my notes? Because I have a picture for her and everything. Oh, I hate this. I hate this so much.
Yeah, I literally helped you come up with it. And I forgot.
I hate this. I hate that A, this is taking so long, but B,
We can do this like some other time during the week.
that'll work, I suppose.
Yeah,
sorry. You name drop this out of absolutely nowhere, and I'm just not going to be able to follow.
That's fine. No,
I need
let's
like the
do
tiniest bit of like something.
Okay.
But yeah, man,
Let's
I
just do it
really
later,
just
then.
don't have her. Oh, is this her? Nadia?
That
Nadia.
sounds. Yeah.
Yep, I got her right here. She's not
So
here.
Okay. Thank you. All
all that to find out she's not even here. Damn it.
right. Cool.
Yep, but Nadia.
All right. All right. As far as instead of Nadia, and we're going back to Nadaru, she would basically kind of all the information that she learned about the broodmother and not exactly how she came across the information, but all the information that we gathered regarding that specifically. Well, first, is he still part of trying to see of clearing that out or no?
What are you specifically asking right now?
Is he still actively trying to go and clear out those pods? Or no?
Yes.
Okay. If he is, then she's gonna share the information that she learned from the conversation with Kyle Boris. Not about
Sweet.
him, but the information that she gleaned.
Yeah. Yeah, he's excellent. With that, he just kind of nods. He's like, "Thank you. I'll it's getting a little late, but I'll get right on it." And he leaves. He's gone immediately. Like that's big information. Like he's gone.
Okay. Then if he's gone, then she'd probably go back, clean up, and then go find Timet's Ted.
Don't even care about Alashik at all. This is the greatest moment ever.
No.
No, I have to put notes. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
All right, that's why I
Um,
wanted to give at least an acknowledging nod and then like a little wave of like a hi and then
Look, just at Jared, we're playing D&D, you're not loser, and, you'll get the same effect.
Honestly, yeah. Uh, Sweet. Anyways, that's my notes. That's good. Okay. So yeah, that didn't take long at fucking all. Like you walked in, went, "Hey, yo, where are these two people at?" And then within 5 minutes they were there. You spilled the beans after about 5 minutes, gone. And then you're like, "All right, cool." And you just about face and leave, and now you have 50 minutes to burn. We can just fast
yeah,
forward if you'd like.
like
That is easy.
I kind of use the whole like, all right, everybody keeps saying I look like, shit, so I'm gonna at least clean up. And then she'd go to
Yeah.
Time's Ted.
You look like
Yeah,
shit.
you go and clean up. You see why people are saying you look like shit. You've got cuts all over. You've got bruises. You got like blood on your lip you didn't note about. Like your armor's a little tattered and worn. You're like scrubbing it. You're like, motherfucker. You get all clean. You're like, all right, sweet. And you just kind of walk over to Time's 10, I assume. And well, actually, would you be wearing like what you've been wearing, like your full armor, or just kind of like in casual clothing?
Probably more casual clothing.
Okay. You kind of after an hour, you kind of walk on up and kind of like stand out there. Don't really know how to like knock on the door or anything, but you can announce yourself.
She would announce or at least ask
Yeah.
like Time.
Come in. And you hear him through the mask. And as you open it and you look at him, he is still donned in all of his armor. And he's kind of like cleaning up like some plates and stuff and putting them to the side. And he goes, "Yara, nice to see you. Have a seat."
She'll take a seat.
And yep, sits down, kind of leans back. Oh, okay. You want to learn about the Guardians?
You seem like the type of person that I could at least ask some information about them.
I can definitely explain a bit. What exactly would you like to know? It's a very bold and open-ended question of you, so I don't really know how or where to begin.
It's, I will say, a more recent fascination of mine, seeing as I actually, I don't know if you know, but the Wayfinders went out to the Lost Sea before coming here. And we actually, or I for sure, saw the Kuishki with my own eyes. And the more I learn and the more I ask people and I pick up information along the way, and it's just certain things don't make sense. For one, it seems that with Rorschach, there's this peaceful like coexistence with how things ended at the Lost Sea. There, the Kuishki was more animalistic, more protective, and um, I
Well,
I would just say I know very little about them or history of them.
the Kuishki is a special case. That creature was the guardian before, was very kind, it was very nice, it was very, well, it was a guardian.
So I've
And
heard.
it was corrupted by black soul gems, or soul shards, and whatever. And a couple of other bad decisions, none of which we have records to prove, but it went feral, for lack of a better explanation. To be honest, I don't know as much about the Guardians as I would like, but I know that's a special case. Our Guardian is something different. Ours was, is given to us by the grace of our Lord. Um, he blessed rock, and with it came a statue of himself and a small avatar, if you will. Ours is also not a normal guardian, or not a normal situation. Ours is a blessing.
So
Afraid that's, sorry if that's not the best answer. I apologize, but it's the truth.
well, you're saying that the god, your Talos, you're saying Talos,
Talos.
hmm, Talos?
Talos.
Yeah. Um, you were saying Talos created the Guardian for Rorschach. Is that this? But it's not a similar case for most other cities. That it's not
No.
God creating a Guardian.
No, not at all. We are very special cased. I, to be honest with you, how a guardian comes to play, that is a very well guarded secret between each capital as to how their guardian came to be. Um, Basically, if you know how their guardian came to be, you can find a way to make their guardian yours. It started a lot of power struggle back in the day. I don't know how long ago. It's just a history book or something. Just stories I might have heard, etc. But I don't know how accurate they are, so it's not even worth the conversation.
So each capital around um Zendrick. Um, shut up.
Uh-huh.
I've got a lot of other things in my head. Shut up. I knew I was gonna regret that. Um, so basically, each of the capital of each of the cities in Zendrick have their own guardian
but all have their own kept secret as to how they collected, or not collected, but ended up with a guardian.
Correct.
And none of it is cohesive in similarities with one another.
I have no idea. I know how our guardian came to be, but we are a special case. If I'm aware that Jokta has a very special connection with their guardian, they know a lot of the past. Now, it's also to say I'd be wary of asking that question, as I'm not sure if they have your full garnered, or if they've garnered you with their full trust. They're here to help the army, not you. I don't mean that in a bad way, it's just how they are. I'm just a forewarning. Now, there's also the elves of Fav Delanore, and specifically, Alvaro was chosen by their, how do you even express what goes on over there? The translation's probably off, but something along the akin of a high priest or a village elder or something along those lines chose him to be the warrior. That person speaks to the guardians and he speaks to their guardian or guardians or whatever they have. I don't know. They don't release that information at all. They're the oldest on this continent, but they keep all of their secrets. I know that's not the best answer you wanted to hear. I apologize, but we at Harashak, we are special cased.
So
I
you're
can
saying
tell you general ideas about the Guardians, but nothing you wouldn't have known or read in a children's book.
nothing deeper than that.
Not afraid not.
However, it is helpful to know that I could possibly pursue information elsewhere. It gives me a foothold. If you're not leaving me with nothing. As far as like Jokta and Fob Delanore is the oldest, but they're pretty guarded, is what I'm hearing. Is that correct?
Very. I would honestly use the word almost sealed. They are locked. They do not give out that information. You would have to be very trusted with them in order to get it.
Just with the people or with certain higher ups?
Both.
And is that the same with
Navarro
Jokta?
would be a wonderful start.
Navarro?
Alvaro.
Alvaro.
Alvaro. The guy that you went, wow, he's hot. That guy.
I
You
have
gotta get your
jokingly
rough
said
grind.
that to like all of them.
You gotta get your rough grind started. It'll take a while.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one that looked like a Mayan warrior. Or
Yeah.
okay, cool. And that's with Fob Delanore. Now what of Jokta? They sound similar as far as needing to earn some kind of rapport with.
Jokta, just, they don't know you. Bob Delanore, that's a whole different ballgame of trust.
With Jokta, Mitch, remind me, player team here. Jokta is the one where it's that more animalistic one, right?
Yeah, it's the city of beasts is what they're called. But yeah,
Werewolf
it's
capital.
just a bunch of like werewolf capital,
World capital. Okay. Cool, cool, cool,
lycanthrope
cool.
capital. Yeah.
Furries.
Oh, furries. Okay.
The badass capital, George.
Sure.
But they too know of past with the Guardians, you said.
Yeah, not as much, but yes, that would be a wonderful place to start.
Okay. And I know you can't share too much about your own.
From what it sounds like you're looking for, I would be of absolutely no help. You can know everything about the beginning, past, middle, and present of our guardian, and it wouldn't be of use to you. You would just learn of our religion, which I'm more than happy to explain about at length.
I will respectfully decline.
Most people do not worry. Just know that it is known.
What does that mean?
It's known that it's known. I know that you do not care to listen or know of anything. You do not wish to be saved by the glory of Tyment. It's not myself. I apologize. Of Talos. I got my T's mixed up there.
No, I personally just.
It's fine. Most people just don't understand until it's too late, and then the decision is gone, stripped away from them in an instant, at the last moments of their life. You never know when it's going to be gone, and then all of a sudden you're wishing you did, but unfortunate.
If it's
He like pulls out like a book, just opens it up and just starts reading it.
it's
On the
it's
front
not
is like the
just you.
symbol of Talos on
It's-
it that you can see.
It's you. It's I
No,
don't really
I
touch-
understand fully. You
Sorry.
come to ask for
Sorry.
guardians. You do not wish to know about the glorious savior of Talos. I get it. I understand.
How dare you insult
Is
the
he being
religion?
just don't
passive
wish to be
aggressive?
Very, because some people just don't want to be saved. I understand. To that?
Gosh, do you
That
know
is your
what's
decision.
ringing in the back of my mind, Mitch?
What?
just like just the phrases of like, well, it makes it kind of hard when you weren't really like, one created by God. So I don't know if there's much to save. Not really what some call a blessed creation. More of like an
All
abomination, I've heard.
All
Oh God.
creatures can be saved by Talos. He does not look at who or how you were created or what you
Is this
are. He
motherfucker trying to
simply
recruit
is.
someone I know into a different religion?
Yeah, like
Yes.
that too. Just like the fact that like another thing that popped into my mind was like, well, other people have already tried recruiting me into
Zarius,
their
teach me
religious
mirror
community.
image faster before I can slap this
I'm
punk.
trying. It's not my fault.
Like Limpetina's like just like sitting there, just all of a sudden, just the force,
She just feels it. She's just like, is someone impeding on my territory?
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, it's like I sense heresy.
Heresy.
I smell a bitch. But yeah, this goes
You know,
on
most
for a
will follow
while.
different
Where
gods, right?
he goes at it for another like 5 minutes before kind of like stopping, and he just gets. It's just really quiet and tense.
As all good sermons do,
Yes.
Why aren't they praising the god yet? They're supposed to praise by now. What the fuck?
I am sure your God, I have no doubt your God is proud of you in this moment, and that this is parts.
Just
I know he is.
That's good. I am genuinely happy for you, but I will have
Thank
to.
you.
I will have to take my leave.
I understand. I simply spread the good word when I can. It's very rare, especially on a battlefield. I will still pray for you and your safety.
Just an off-topic thought right now, just in Dro's head. You know, pops in randomly, no relation to anything going on. Dro's god interferes with his crafting and makes it better. Libetina's god is her dad. Vin's god was given to him by somebody else who died and saved him from
and
the
my
devil.
ancestors.
And
Yeah,
their god's like, they're proud of me. About that.
Thank you.
The gods have a tangible influence on the rest of our lives, but their god's proud of them. Shame,
Rich,
right?
I learned something pretty good. You just have to look at the picture and what I sent you
Oh,
to go,
no.
oh my god, that's canon. That's amazing.
I'm really curious what you sent him. I think it's a problem, though.
Talos having a Kawishki
What?
thing is actually canon in that universe too.
Of
So
course.
it's actually perfect for our world that we've made over the last handful of years. So I learned this recently. I was like, holy shit, this actually works.
Yeah, dude, that's just the avatar. Like, that's. What do you think the fucking statue is, Chris? It's the super mech. That's fucking amazing.
Just post this
Anyways,
for when we see the
When
Kawishki.
Timet says that,
It's
The
not
Guardian,
the Kuishki
the
that's for
Guardian, my
timers and-
bad.
Yeah. God. Incredible.
when Timet says that, you pray for her or continue to pray for her, she smiles. Make sure she has her notebook. She puts it away. She stands up. But as she's standing up, she says, "Thank you. I sincerely do hope that your prayers come from a source not of law, but of compassion." And all I can do is hope for your safety and to offer my blade.
He stands up as you kind of like stand up when you go to leave, and he walks up. If I may, Yara, if I can call you that. It's not hard to tell you don't care for the gods. I understand. I wanted to extend a hand, and I will not push that ever again. However, please know you are not a monster, and you are not alone. Kind of pats you on the shoulder awkwardly and sits back down and continues reading as if he didn't say anything at all.
The old passive confuse the new recruit into the cult technique. I get it.
It's one from his Southern pastors.
No.
Wait till he grabs you by the back of the head and rips the fucking the skull shell out of your fucking skull.
No, don't you need the hand and the smacking of the forehead?
That's
Save you quick!
only the best clerics can pull that off.
Yeah,
She
you
takes
gotta be
a
level
leap.
20 minimal for that one.
You just need a prayer circle. What do you mean?
20 combined, then.
But yeah, she takes her leave. And she goes find Lipitina. No, I'm just kidding.
Not again.
I mean, I was
Get out
gonna
of
say,
me,
you know
Hunt.
what? More people in Jersey.
Get out of me,
this
Hunt.
upgrade.
I'm kidding.
There's a reason the
Actually,
channel's named that.
Get down to me, hot.
It was me.
What's it?
Yes, it was when I joined in. You started going off about it.
Forgot
You
about
changed the
that.
name abruptly.
Forgot about that.
It's been a long time though.
Yeah, that was back in BFA. Me and Dave were losing our minds. Anyways, don't get me off track. So yeah, you leave and you go back to your tent, contemplating everything that you heard and taking mental notes. Dro, you're annoyed. Libitina and Zarius, you're learning and teaching, respectively. Then you are out cold. And
Lucky you.
with that, eventually you all head off into your respective rooms. Zarius and Libitina, when you go back in, Ven is still being worked on. Thea will turn around and look at you and say, you should not be here. Go somewhere else. I suggest Ven's room.
Please feed my son. I forgot about him.
Just kinda
Above a
stare at
15,
you.
I kill Vanguard. I'm gonna kill
Yeah.
Vanguard.
It's time, baby.
I can't retaliate. No.
You do look down and you do see that the bodies are embalmed. And she just kind of looks at you and goes, I just preserved them. Just leave me to my work. Unless you want him to die, in which case come interfere.
Libitina steps in the door.
Yeah, look at Libitina just pulling out her dagger like, no? Oh, all right.
I can assist the surgery, I swear.
I think that we should leave him be for now.
Start dragging the other body. Just a stare.
All right. And you both go into Vin's room. And
Solve so
man,
many
he's
problems.
got a nice bed. It's a huge bed. Like, you already have a pretty big, like, actually, no, you don't. You'll have little cots, basically. But Vin's bed is like a cot for him. But man, it's like a king-size mattress for you right now. This is great. Feel like a king. So fluffy. It has to be because it's for Vin. For Vin, you'd imagine it's probably like the bare minimal, but like, this is good. And yeah, you all drift off to sleep. Everyone,
I have a spell to cast before I go to bed, if that's okay.
that is perfectly fine. I just want to say, everyone except for Vin may have a long rest.
Yes.
What do you mean? I'm having the best rest ever. I've been put down and under.
Take.
Yeah, but we haven't revealed your last roll yet.
Oh, yeah.
Ghoul.
The Spricker Mabu
Oh,
guys.
it happens.
Oh. Can you do that? You don't have a 7th level spell slot yet.
He has an
sorry.
eligious
No.
arm.
I have.
True.
Did I cast it with 7th? I meant to cast it with 6th. I do have 6th. So
We say we don't have 7th after long rest. We get 7th.
Yeah. anyways.
Also, what the fuck?
I'm okay with
Yeah.
this. I'm down for that.
Wonderful.
I know
We're
for a
gonna have
fact.
to talk about that.
I'm down for a fact. I know the fact that those bodies don't have a soul. They're just dum dums.
Yep.
Bodies.
Yep. I specifically use double bodies. And
Ah,
we're just gonna dress them up all nice, like little protective
Out of curiosity.
hitman
for
squad.
it. Dick, they're CR1. All I needed to know.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are
you can
very
just
weak,
snap and murder.
honestly.
That is all I needed to know, that they're CR1, no matter what I can say.
quite,
Goodbye.
Honestly,
they are
it's
quite
not a very
murderable.
good 6th level spell, but I I just have to try it once.
But with that, you all go to sleep. You all take a long rest, except for Vin. And with that, that is where we're going to call tonight's session. Like I said, short, sweet.
Grapple.
Exposition.
I think a 4-hour session is pretty good, personally. Or about
I'm
3.5.
quite tired, so it works out.
Look, George's stream's been going for 3 hours and 19 minutes, so that's how long the session's going.
Basically 3.5 hours. I'll take it.
Don't.
But yeah,
I
that
guess I'll
is where we're
text
going
you
to end
about my
tonight's session.
modifications and shit over the break.
Yes.
George's getting
That
wings
is
and
actually-
horns too?
And giving people armor and making my shield better.
No.
I might be
That's
taking
kind
your
of
armor
why-
away.
We can't do much. I have to figure out if Chris is going to be dead or not. If he needs to make another character, or if I need to like fix up Vin. We just can't proceed without that. So yeah, we're gonna do that. If anyone would like to do anything at the start of the morning, that would require, gathering any information or doing any menial task, etc., that you would need, feel more than free to outreach and talk to me over the course of the week. The weeks until our next session. But otherwise, yep, that's it.
Yep, I got early morning work to do, so.
Oh joy.
Not me personally, Dro has early morning.